Hello and welcome. Welcome, everyone. It is Monday again. Trucking Answers live every Monday. 1 billion shows in a row now, and it's Roller Wiener Monday, so get your wieners ready. Could also be Taco Tuesday for those of you that would prefer it, but either way, we are here today. And I didn't start that, so I should have done that. So, okay. So this week we got a bunch of stuff. I missed the open thing. I'm talking to myself here. Don't know what I'm talking about. So this JCT driver, 10 million miles. We can talk about that. Hey, do you have to jumpstart your reefer? Companies asking you to do that. What do you think about that? Are you wearing a mask at the Loves, the J, the Pilot, the Petro, the TA? Yikes. Garmin has a big ELD outage, and JB Hunt has a settlement this week. Oh, yeah, settled for a bunch of money. Same thing, misclassification. Holy moly, there's so many things going on. So what is going on out there today? Let's see, there's this. All right, so live today, first was George Hearn the other day, and quickly followed by Christina Jones and Michael Muller. So close, but yet so far away. Wild Bill I had out there first today on my screen anyways, which is not always correct, but that's the first thing that I see on there. And let's see, what am I doing here? So here we go. Oh, let's see, George Wilson is here today. Jason Maggs, hello there. What's happening? Imperials, NYC, what's going on? Trucker John's here. Christina Jones, hello there today. Almond, hello there. Joel Hendricks, any relation? What's happening there? Out there, Roger Penske. Oh, yikes. Naming the great places. Love them. Love them. Alpha's here. Yikes. Hello there today. It's super hot today. The dew point is 76. Don't do any strenuous activity outside, as if any drivers do that. Eddie McFadden. Hello. This is the day when I wonder about the drivers that unload Dollar General and that. They're in the front of that trailer. What is it, like 700 degrees in there? Yikes. There's no way I'd want to do that today. Stephen Taylor, what's happening? Kelly Patterson, hello there from Longview, Washington. Wow, hope it's cooler out there. Red Monkey Trucking is here. Chris 76, happy Wiener Day. Everybody get your wieners out. Gustavo, hello there. How's it going down there? Josh, good morning from an undisclosed bunker. Yes, that's how we're all doing it. It's all we're in front of a green screen. That's the only way to do it. Christopher Robin, what's going on? The man, I don't know about that. The big healthy highwayman, how are you doing? Hello there. Alexandra, good morning. Hello. How's it going over there today? Cash is King Trucking is here. Oh, right. So Cash is King Trucking. If you don't know, he started doing some live shows. So anybody who wants to go over there, see Cash is King Trucking. He's live. Basically, whenever you turn on YouTube, he's there live. So there you go with that. So welcome to the show today. It's good to see you here today. And so we got that out there. That's pretty good. You saw Celadon. Chris saw Celadon dropped at a Pilot. They're still out there. Go collect these things and recycle them, for crying out loud. They're going to just disintegrate. So, incredible. How is my stunning estate? Oh, doing wonderful, of course. Steven just hit a little over 10. Let's see. Oh, that's more miles than me. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, getting close. You got an extra mile there. I appreciate it. I can't get the zeros going here. So, Steve, hello there. Let's see. Good morning from Wyoming. I-80 exit 34 truck parking. MG, all right. Did the snow go away yet? Yikes. Hotshot veteran. I saw Celadon Trail in Amarillo on Thursday. What is happening? I'm surprised I forgot about that place, too. It's not like you can never forget it. I'll always remember that. Wiener is red hot and hanging. Yeah, with all the heat it is. Mark, I've only driven 500,000, not really a truck driver. No, maybe you should go over to JCT where you can actually put some miles down. I mean, geez, or KLLM at least. James Mark, good afternoon from Florida. Back to work after a drug test. Took 5 days. I was wondering if they were ever going to get your results. What is happening? You can drug test your teenager in your house in 15 minutes. We can't get a bonehead trucker video without Swipping, and Swift has the most drivers, so they're going to have the most videos. Put on my flip-flops is about the most strenuous thing I'll do. Oh, are you part of the flip-flop crew now? You finally gave in. Good afternoon from Hunts Point. Oh, that's wonderful out there, Joshua. Do they still have idle air there? Broke down in Calhoun, Georgia, Steve. Yikes. Are they paying you? Jim C. heading to Phoenix, we're at 78. It's 88 here, and the dew point is 76. I just looked. YRC check. Yeah, they're at 250 this week, down from 341 last week. So, yikes. And now the people are griping that they got $700 million. Yeah, duh. They shouldn't have got $700 million. So, exactly. A Steelers hot dog. Okay, I saw a fresh Celadon truck in Florida. Yikes. What is going on? Where are all these Celadon? We need to collect all these things and do something with them. Why didn't the court collect them? Alexandra's headed to Texas. It's already hot out. I know. Feels just like the surface of the sun. Like you have to keep moving or your shoes melt to the pavement. Oh, Cassius King Trucking is live on the hour, every hour. Yeah, you do more live shows than they have traffic reports in Chicago. So whenever you want the show, he is there for you. I really appreciate you doing it. That's the best. Those are the best shows of the week, I think. Doing live shows, it's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun. I'll idle till the State Department rolls around. Idling till the State Department rolls around. Where are you? Somewhere where they won't let you idle? That's another thing. Some of these cities, Dallas did that. Some states do it. Come on, really? It's so hot. The dew point is 76, and you can't run your truck. Like that's ridiculous. And as we always say, do these people shut their air conditioning off in their house? I doubt it. I doubt it. Do you have a nasty toenail to go with those flip-flops? Yeah, let's get that on camera. Is Yellow bigger than Swift? They do have more drivers than Swift, yeah, likely. Okay, let's put it this way. Swift is the largest truckload carrier in the United States. Yellow probably has more trucks and drivers, probably. They're a different segment, so Swift, largest truckload carrier. How is Celadon still on the road? They're not. They just have these trucks. People abandon trucks, which I almost hardly don't even blame them. Because they couldn't get fuel for a while, company wasn't communicating, and so what are you supposed to do? Just sit in the truck and wait weeks at a time? Because people remember back to Arrow. And so people just went home. They just parked the truck and left. And now there's just trucks still everywhere. It took a long time to get all the Arrow trucks collected as well. But these trucks are just everywhere. The courts should have gotten those picked up. The bankruptcy court should have put a bounty on them, basically. And said, look, bring them in or tell us where they are, but they didn't. And so they're just sitting around. Those trailers are aluminum. I mean, if anyone's near Chicago has got one, there are places in there that would love to get that trailer, and they don't give out a receipt or anything. I'm not saying to do that. That would be wrong, of course, but they are taking up space. The company I'm leased to hard if you sell it on Lease Drivers, Jim C. Some of the Lease Drivers actually got to keep their trucks, too. So did those guys do that? That was really good. That company let them keep their truck. That didn't happen to the Arrow drivers. James Morrell, you'll never guess what they blamed it for taking so long. Coronavirus. Oh, because they're doing all these coronavirus tests, which there's nobody at. I went and sat over there yesterday for a while over at Unity Medical Hospital here to see IU. It's part of IU over here. Where they're doing the test, no cars pulled up. So I don't know what they're doing over there. Good afternoon, Jeffrey Herring. It's good to see you. Cassius King doing live videos. Yeah, well, Bill, you should check them out. See, if you just flip over there, he's probably doing one right now while he's on here, too. So I think so. Celadon I saw was attached to an owner. Somebody may have snagged it, too. I've got to believe some of them got stolen. I'll tell you this. I wouldn't steal it and then not paint over the Celadon. I mean, what does paint cost? Go to Sears and get some of that weather beater and paint it up. Come on. Can't just drive the trailer around. What's up, Mark? Benny, what's happening? Flip-flops with plain socks. Oh, I like the black sock look with those little sock holder things that go around your leg and hold the socks up. That's a classic. Heard you have a project with this guy trucks. Phil, I do, right? We're talking to GP Transco, and they're going to do a three-way, some type of three-way with us. So we're going to have a three-way with GP Transco. That should be a lot of fun. That's a real Roller Wiener Monday right there. So have I heard anything about Baylor and drivers complaining about miles? Christopher Robin, well, that seems to be a complaint around the clock from people about miles. Baylor's not a kind of place that gives you long miles because they try to get you home. That's the problem of going home at a road company is that it's tough to get 3,500 miles and be home, leave Monday afternoon and be home Friday night if that's something that you want. So, I don't know, it may not be a place to get a lot of miles. So if the less miles, they're going to need to pay a little bit more money. Joshua, Hunts Point is a no idle lot, and I'm sure the rest of the state, oh yeah, right, New York State, they don't want you to idle. I mean, why should you idle at 88 degrees with a dew point of 76? Can't you just sit in the truck, leave it on accessory, and just turn the fan on and let the air blow on you? That's pretty good. It's 66 in LA. That would be great here. What goes on when you're sitting in the green room before the show? I can't say anything in the green room stays in the green room, so we just leave it at that in there. It's 88 degrees in Ohio with a heat index of 96. I know, it's crazy. It's super humid today. So I feel bad for everybody without air. Who remembers that? I never had a truck on the road without air, but I had plenty of local trucks around Chicago that didn't have air. And I cannot imagine running like that with no air conditioning. In fact, my truck right now is in the shop for air conditioning and has a DEF pump that went out on Friday. But also the air wouldn't get cold. I'm like, it's not very cold in here. So because it would sit there, it was okay if you had it on 8 all the way. You know, the Cascade's got all those knobs, all those. You could turn it all the way up, and it was okay, but it wasn't cold enough. So they looked into it, and it needs a new controller for the air conditioning. So when you turned it, it wasn't telling the truck to turn it cold enough. Plus, it needs a DEF pump now, so it's in the shop. Rocking the Volvo sleeper now. That's what he had. He goes, go take that truck. I'm like, holy crap, what a piece of junk this thing is. I can't believe they are going to give it out. So I hope it doesn't ever go to anybody. I've seen the no idle signs on the turnpike in New York. Yeah, what is up with that? Does anybody follow that too? Who follows that? I had never followed that. I'm like, no way, right? We're going to idle something or I can't come here. Virgo, life hit 20 million miles after 14 years. 20, that's pretty good, 20 million. But it did take you 14 years. I mean, that's a pretty long time to take the way these drivers are going. So maybe you should lease on there to JCT for $1 a mile and they'll give you that award. Did anybody go and look at that picture of that guy? Look. Okay, so that's why I linked that article. He's holding an award from the Oklahoma Trucking Association, Driver of the Year, but it also has an award for his truck for 10 million miles. Please. Does anybody know anything about trucking? Okay. This guy's never had a day off in his life other than leap days. Steven, who's on top? That's to be determined yet. Alexandra, someone's back end is going to hurt. Well, it depends how it goes, I guess. You know, it's 90 there in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. Oh, right by. You should go see that driver that got that award. You'll probably see him driving around out there. As a married man, how do you deal with all the trucking answers groupies? You know, it's just been tough. My whole life has kind of been that way, where I'm walking around the mall and people are like, oh, even before this, right? People are just running up to me. Oh, can we have your autograph? We saw you in True Lies, or we saw you in Predator and all that. I'm like, oh, look, ladies, take it easy. There's plenty of me to go around. And so it's just kind of been that way my whole life. So I'm just kind of used to it, you know. Remember the blackout in 2002? Oh, not really. Greetings, drivers. Working today and then start 2 weeks vacation. Who works on Monday and then goes on vacation? I always see that at work too. There'll be somebody. I'm like, oh, where's what's his face? They're like, oh, he's off. I'm like, who takes a Thursday off? Okay, take a Thursday, Friday off. So, but good for you, 2 weeks. Wild Bill's been spotting in the yard for 18 years. I'll hit 4 million miles. That's pretty. It is a big yard. I will say it is a big yard. Do you have air conditioning in those trucks? I think you do, right? George Wilson, trucker Scooby drives for Baylor. Yeah, go ask him about miles at Baylor or whatever. Although once he mentions the company, I don't know if you can, what kind of truth you'll get out of it. So, Alexander, $1 a mile. Yeah, that's why you have to drive 10 million miles at JCT. His checks are still only probably $318 a week. Barely made it. So, and he's only got 12 more payments, they said, 12 months of payments on his lease truck. People in Andrew, people on the New Jersey Turnpike have gotten tickets for idling and even not parking in a designated spot. That's crazy, number one. Shouldn't go there then. Any place where you can't be comfortable isn't worth going. You can't today. If you had to sleep in this, there's no way at a dew point here of 76 and 88 degrees, you're going to be able to sleep at all. I can't imagine drivers that did this 40 or 50 years ago, 60 years ago, teaming or whatever in this kind of weather. It must have been incredible. People that want to go back to that, you can have it. Okay. I want air conditioning. Big healthy highwayman misses the spotted lanternfly beetles. Yeah. Wasn't it great in America when that was our biggest issue and whether we had the lanternfly sticker on our truck? Has anyone tried using one of those little air coolers you add water to that they've been advertising? They're scams. There's tons of videos about them. You can go see them. It works a little bit through, the science, but that's not going to cut it. That is not going to cut it. Theoretically, you could get, no, they probably won't even let you idle a generator, though. You could have batteries. If you could hook up some extra batteries and an inverter, you could run a window unit, I would think. Idled in Pembroke, New York. Okay, yeah, forget them. I bet the socks look great at the manhole, James. Yeah, nobody's looking at anybody's socks there. His wife is not jealous. No, she just tolerates it because it's just always been that way. Every movie that comes out, people are like, oh my gosh, True Lies and it's just crazy. And now they're going to do another Terminator. I mean, how am I ever going to go anywhere? He drove this 10 million miles in the same truck, an original milk crate. I never had a milk crate. I will say this. I did have a Mac where the seat was not attached to the truck. My R model Mac at Park Ridge Transport, the seat was just sitting there, literally. I don't know why, but it was not bolted down. And so when you would turn a corner, you'd have to brace yourself before you turn because the seat wasn't attached to anything. So really super wonderful. You saw a no idling sign in Virginia. Cash is King. It said it was okay to idle if you're cooling or heating your truck. Why else would you idle? The manhole opened back up. Oh, we never closed. Literally, the manhole is open all the time. Those evaporative coolers work fine when the relative humidity is low. Right, you can't evaporate with the high humidity. So, what's up with Arby's? I've heard from several shows that you can't get any roast beef at Arby's. I mean, what are we supposed to eat at Arby's? It's America's roast beef, yes, sir. I refuse all freight going to New York, Jersey, and eastern Pennsylvania. Look, even without the idling, right, it's worth refusing it just because of the traffic. When you're paid on the mile, the traffic out there isn't worth going for. But, yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you. I refuse it, too. Cash King put Arby's out of business with his constant order. I know. He needs to keep his strength up from all the videos. So, still, it's in communist New Jersey, expect no less. We shouldn't go there. That should be a place where there's a drop yard, then loads get dropped off and local drivers go deliver everything into town that are getting paid by the hour. That kind of Northeast should be like that. Road drivers, come up into Pennsylvania somewhere and drop Scranton, somewhere around there, Carlisle for the south part, and that's it. Local drivers take it the rest of the way. Roger Penske, Paul's Valley is home of AYCE catfish. All right, AYCE. Are used live in my truck at Ardmore, Oklahoma. Sweet. Wyland Parker, hello. Does any tire company produce a truck tire rated for 70? Yeah, aren't they all 75 or 80 or something like that at least? They're all 70 at least. At least. If a cop asks me not to idle, I'll return the favor and ask him, does he turn off his patrol car when they walk into Dunkin' Donuts? It's just called Dunkin' now, just in case you didn't know. They changed their corporate name. Probably get a ticket, but worth it. Yeah, they leave their cars running all the time, but they say, oh, well, that's because, we could have to get in and go on some kind of chase. I'm like, oh, yeah, right, whatever. So, yeah, their cars are running all the time. Look at Hoosier Tie. Where's the beef? Yeah, exactly. Alexandra, right? That's good. Walt, low bridges. Just from the bridges are a disaster. You have to call. I would call every place I went to whenever I was going into New York City, which I've been down there and I don't like it. You got to map it and then call the place and say, please, exactly, how do I get in here? And then when you're there, you tell them, how exactly do trucks get out of here back to the highway? I need to get to the Cross Bronx or whatever. How do I get out of here? Never hit anything, but every turn there's another bridge. Drivers idle in New Jersey service plazas. Yeah, look, crossing that or whatever, I did too, but there were signs, no idling. I don't know how you do Arby's. I get tired of it in 3 months. Well, good, because now you can't get any beef there. So tires are 75. I thought you could go at least 75 on just basically road tires where you don't need any kind of high-speed tires. So you should be fine. If your truck does 70, you should be fine. Tony 5000 was late. You're getting your roller wieners. Yeah, they're finally back out where you can get them, which I enjoy. Most new trucks meet the New Jersey idle exemption. All right, well, they let you idle if you have that little sticker on your truck. I see that on most trucks. My truck has one. This truck is California compliant or whatever, so maybe you could do that. Cassius King Trucking, his tires are rated for 75 and low-profile tires. All right. The Michelin X-Line tires. Oh, are those the singles? Are they rated for... that's interesting. Are singles rated for the 75 as well? I don't know. Who goes 75, though? You got to check out, Mark, you got to check out this GP Transco driver. Has a YouTube channel. It's called This Guy Trucks. Yeah, we're doing a GP Transco asked, and I'm going to do some kind of three-way with him. I don't know exactly what we're doing on the three-way. I guess it's going to be a surprise. So we're going to do that sometime this week, apparently. And I don't know if it's going to be a podcast or a video. I actually don't know. So when I know, I'll let everybody know. So I don't exactly know what it'll be, but it'll be some type of three-way that will be filmed. I've done almost 90 with the Goodyear tires in this truck. Sweet. Sweet. I did 88 years ago in a truck that would do it across Pennsylvania. I remember that. We were cruising across there. Didn't have any problems. Casking is live right now. I just got an alert. Yeah, he's got 3 phones. So he's on several shows and a bunch of phones, other people's phones and stuff. So there you go, Casking Truck. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You haven't been able to get a roller wiener since the pandemic? Oh, no, they would get them, but you had to go have the clerk, touch. You don't want just a random clerk touching your wiener and all that. So you had it. Now they're letting you get them again. You can get your own buns and everything. So finally, now you're going to be masked though, right? What Loves is tomorrow, and Pilot TA and Flying J and Petra are Wednesday, I think, where they're going to be mandatory masks. That's almost all the truck stops. So if you don't have a mask, get one. They're conveniently selling them in there. The OIDA tour truck has free masks. Be sure to get one before you're going to a truck stop. I don't know what they'll do with you if you don't have one. No more overnight parking at Home Depot? Really? You can all still park at Meijer if you're ever in the area here. Exit 172 off of I-65 in Indiana. There's a Meijer right there. They'll let you park on the end of the lot, and you can idle all night there too. Meijer's open 6 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week now, so you can go inside during those times. Please don't throw anything out and stuff so that drivers still have a place to park. The turkey or veal gyros, delicious at Arby's. Do something different. If you miss the beef, you always have the world-famous roller wieners. That should be their motto, do something different, because apparently without roast beef, you're going to be doing something different there. When Arby's brings meat back, there's a sandwich on their secret menu. They have a secret menu called the Meat Mountain. Oh, that's the name of a group that's performing this Saturday, ironically, at the manhole. It's ridiculous, every meat they make on one sandwich. So if you go in and order a Meat Mountain, you get literally a meat mountain. I want to try that. I'm going to try that at some Arby's. Steel Horse, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, Mark, have you heard good things about RBX out of Springfield? I've been looking into them. I haven't heard really anything out of RBX, but sometimes there's a driver in here from wherever people are looking for. So is there an RBX driver in here today? There's 116. New drivers, just remember parkways are no parking. I think I lost myself there. In New York is no trucks. Parkways are new trucks, right? Do not get on a parkway in New York. Josh, I thought film three-ways normally paid well. Yeah, normally they do. Wieners are on me today. No, wait, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, look, next time I show up too, anybody that shows up gets a free wiener. Of course, it's an Italian sausage. They do that there too. Arby's has so many things. I'm glad I don't work there. It was one of my early jobs, right? Fast food was Arby's. I heard Forever 21 is going bankrupt. Where all the trucking groupies going to shop? I'm in there all the time. I mean, I couldn't wait for the mall to open back up. Between that and Hot Topic, I mean, I was running out of clothes when I couldn't get in that place. Crazy. And Aerospace still down at the mall there. If you don't have a mask, go in the door and hurry into the bathroom and find some toilet paper on your face. Yikes. Come out, you're wrapped up with toilet paper. People will be like, well, at least they'll leave you alone, right? They'll be like, oh, get away from that person. Imperials NYC, thank you very much. Goodness, I appreciate it. Preferably unused toilet paper. Yikes, you could just draw something on there. Wow, Bill, which phone do I look at? I know, because already, since I've been doing this, Cash is King Trucking has done 4 live shows. I just paid my last lease payment. All right, believe it or not, I did find a good one. A small company. People do not lease purchase through mega carriers. There are some. Look, I always say none, but it's not always 100%. There are some places that have good lease purchase programs, but they're very few. These mega carriers that advertise all the time at $1 a mile, which is JCT, okay, that's not going to cut it. You're going to have to do some looking if you must get it through a carrier. I still think better getting it in your own. There's some carriers that will still do good by you. Not all Meijers allow overnight parking. That is true. That's why I'm saying this one does at the 172. On I-65 in Indiana, it's right there off the highway. You'll see it, and you can go park at the end of the lot, no problem. There's always trucks parked in there. Used toilet paper could be considered stylish. Yikes. Hello, GP Transco. It's good to see you today. GP Transco is here in the house. If you need to check into a good job, maybe GP Transco might be the place to check into. How about that? So there's that. And I always will lose my spot, of course. You think I'd be better at this by now, but after 1 billion shows in a row, I have the Meat Mountain at an Arby's in TA in Georgia. If I remember, it costs 16. No way. Look, money's no object when you're getting the Meat Mountain. But really? I'm going to order that and see what they say next time I go in there. Daniel, what did I miss? Yikes. Nothing yet. Talk to people from the great state of Alabama, sir. Sure, I will talk to anybody. Checking in, all right. It's good to see you. Missed the manhole meeting. Hey, you can always show up at any time you want for that meeting. That isn't a problem. JB Hunt, I always love to talk about this. $6.5 million settlement. Remember, we just had Prime settle for $28 million. Well, now JB Hunt is settling a lawsuit for $6.5 million. And they're going to get $20,000 per affected driver. Why? Mostly for misclassifying drivers. Drivers that lease purchased a truck through JB Hunt, then they had to purchase the onboard computer from JB Hunt for messages and that kind of thing. And according to the article there, they could not use the truck for other loads. It had to be used only for JB Hunt loads. The problem with that, when you are independent contractor, you have to be able to take the equipment anywhere you want. It has to be your equipment at your direction. When they direct it, you must buy this, you have to do this, you're an employee. Boom. They got busted for it. And since they're employees, they also got busted for not giving meal and rest breaks in California as required of all employees. They cannot do that. You have to be in control of the truck. So they misclassified a bunch of people because of the control that they exerted. Prime, your day is coming. These other companies that do this, JCT, your day is coming. If anybody's here for Prime JCT, can you take your truck and just get a load off a load board without talking to Prime about it? I doubt it. Or JCT or any of these other companies. That is exactly what they got busted for at JB Hunt. Exactly. One of the things. One of many things. $6.5 million for them. Set the cheapest amount in America. Oh, very good. Christopher Robin, there is no way you could finish it all you started and have the meat sweats. Okay, well, we'll see about that. God honked at flipped off by another truck driver for doing the speed limit at 55. Yeah, people pass me all day long because I go down US 41, which is a 60. And so I get passed constantly by people. They don't seem to flip me off down there, I guess, because there's less traffic. But it's a 60. And I always wonder, I get the road drivers that are being paid by the mile, but I always wonder why is yellow passing me or ABF? Why are these drivers that are getting paid hourly? Why are they passing me? What are we doing here? A yellow truck passed me just the other day at 67 miles an hour. What is going on? That's not a great plan. The idea of the hourly is that it would reduce speeding fines and increase safety by having drivers drive the speed limit and not pass everybody. JB Hunt misclassified drivers. What is human? Oh, dang. Dang it. Yeah, they're misclassifying people because to be independent, it's very clear. The IRS rules are very clear that you have to have control of your day. They can't make you buy anything. They can offer things to you for sale. They're plenty allowed to do that. They can say, all right, you lease a truck, especially flatbeds, but also owners of vans and stuff. Here's all the chains. Here's everything you need if you want one package, and here's the price. They can't make you buy it there. That's the problem. They can't say you must buy our stuff. Then you become an employee, because to be independent, you have to be able to get the things that you need anywhere you want. When they're providing the tools of your job, now suddenly you're an employee. Just like I am an employee. They give me the tools to do my job. And so JB Hunt is going to pay $6.5 million to these people. Of course, in their defense, as I'll say, they admit no wrongdoing. No, we didn't do anything wrong. Here's a bunch of money to shut everybody up. But they don't admit any wrongdoing. Just want you to know that so that we're clear on that. Alexander, I may not have a meat mountain, but I have corn dog and ranch. Not at Arby's. Maybe at Arby's. Don't tell me they have that at Arby's, too. Danny, you're number one to me. I appreciate that. At least somebody. You and the cat. What about Celadon? Haven't got paid yet. Sorry, company. Jerry, I'll Abano, I think everybody has gotten paid by now. So have you not gotten paid yet from them? There was a bankruptcy, and a lot of people got their last checks, and even people wrote into me and said, yeah, I got paid, because I told people right in. Even a lot of people got the extra $500 for turning their trucks in. So a lot of people did get their money. If not, you should go. I don't have a link to it or whatever. Check at the bankruptcy court, whatever is doing that. Believe me, you can Google it up and write to the lawyers that are running the bankruptcy and say, hey, I'm here and I'm still owed wages. So really, I think you'll get your money that way. You went straight through Atlanta last night, Philip? I love sneaking through there. When I was going through there, especially at night, I'm like, I'm going right through the center. People will think that I belong here because the cops will think, who would try to do this? So, Ralph, good afternoon. It's good to see you. GP Transcript planning to record the three-way. Okay, recorded interview. And sometime this week. All right, that should be a blast. Prime YouTube drivers are out in full force. I guess Prime Game gave them the green light. Yeah, did you notice that? That Prime YouTube drivers are out making videos again? Prime shut that down fast, and now they're back out making videos. Only positive videos, of course. Is it me, or is there more and more men riding in the passenger seat with their feet up on the dash, where their wives or girlfriends drive? Who's doing that? Yikes. My wife, I don't think she's ever driven me anywhere. And we've been married for 24 years. So I don't think she has ever driven. We go somewhere, right? If she's coming to get me or whatever, then she gets out and goes in the passenger seat and I drive home. So when we had one car, that's how it worked. Bloom Service does lease and make you have your own name, and they still run the board. They hold the last check whether you quit or they let you go. That's why I've always recommended to people, and a lot of companies don't like it, but look, if you're going to quit a place, get another job lined up, of course, and you can, whatever day you're going to start. And late on a Friday or on a Saturday, before you come in Monday, okay, you call the company and say, look, my whoever died, grandmother or whatever, somebody died, the funeral's going to be Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. So I'll need the next week off, then I'll be back in on Monday. And if you've been there a long time, they'll give you that time off. That next Friday, you get paid, right? Boom, then you quit because you got your last check. I only say that because a lot of companies will hold that money. So the one who has the money has the power. So get your money and let them try and get it back from you, rather than trying to hold it. Daniel, recording it through, just keep it yourself. Well, son, that'll be up on the pay site, Trucking Answers Nation paid site.com. So, Central Freight Lines offered a job as a P&D driver. Jason, all right. I've read reviews on Indeed. They say the company's in danger of going under. They're in danger? I don't have their stock yet. Why are they going under? Alexander just purchased a new car. All right. The 2021s some of them are coming out. That is great to hear. I always like to see people get a new car. I like to get one every year. I don't, but I would like to every year. Anybody that has a hazmat. So now the TSA has to do your fingerprint and all that, right? And that's part of getting a hazmat. Every time you renew it, you have to go in and do that. Well, what they've done, they've extended your threat assessment, which is the fingerprint part, through October 29th. So, does that extend your hazmat? No. But the state can extend your hazmat then through October 29th. It's kind of convoluted. But they are not able to extend the hazmat endorsement. States have to do it. I'm hoping they do. But you will not have to get another threat assessment until October 29th, as long as your state extends your hazmat renewal deadline. It's kind of weird, but I thought it was worth saying because it's unusual that they do that. Trucker Hershey, dang it, early show and in Central Time. Oh, yikes. I'm going to call your company and tell them to put you back on regular time. I know. Somebody needs to do that, really. What company do I work for? Well, ironically, I don't get that question often, which is interesting. But for new people on the show or whatever, I don't ever say who I work for. And that keeps them out of my videos. But I also don't recruit for them. You know, well, like every prime driver, whenever's recruiting for their company, I don't recruit for them. We have a recruiting bonus. I don't take it. Let them go get their own drivers. So you got a 1984 Chevy Camaro. That doesn't seem like a new car to me. Yeah, is that an IROC, by the way, at least? Important news. GP Transco found an awesome little Mexican restaurant that has dollar tacos on Monday and Tuesday. Sweet. It's now constantly full of GP drivers. Oh, can they walk there from the terminal? And where did that go, by the way? Oh, that disappeared. And I wanted to know where it was. The sign says all trucks follow marked highway. What does that mean? Yeah, that's true. But then you go down the road and there's no more signs. I think they're telling you to not get off the road. Tony, 5,000. How much do you charge your wife per mile for giving her your licensed professional driving services as a chauffeur? That's what I should do. Start charging for that. I'm going to charge JCT rates for that. They make us act sneaky. Some of those people in Gulfport, Mississippi say 15 an hour is good pay. That's not great pay for a driver. 15 when you can get, 12 at Target, probably 10, 12 down there at Target. That's not great. Oh, thanks, Wild Bill. I appreciate that. Christina, oh, right. Yes, that is a good idea. And that's who I wanted to put out there today. All right, we'll go with this. Look at it. It's all black. I love that. No white spots on it at all. Wonders when are the next treats coming. When is treat time? That's what they always wonder, right? Don't we all wonder that? When is our next treat coming? Okay, so we're back to this important news. A little Mexican restaurant. It's now constantly full of GP drivers. Can you walk there from the GP Transco World Headquarters? Do I work for the CIA? Yes, I wish. Do they have trucks? All your drivers be safe. I'm at the biggest stop of the day. Looking forward to that 3-way video. Putting my mask on now, James. You'll need to wear a mask. It's actually, Alexander has a 429 V8 and a 4-speed. Well, there need to be pictures of that, of course, coming out. Dollar tacos, yeah, that's great. Get me a dozen soft tacos to go. That's reason enough to go to GP Transco. We had to update the taco comment to be more accurate. Okay, that's true. That stuff needs to be accurate, 100% accurate. How far is it from World HQ? You should arrange with them some kind of, you can order every hour or whatever, get all the drivers ordered together and they'll have a huge order. I was donating blood one time, my fingerprint pulled up someone else. Really? That would be kind of creepy. Mike Scott. Oh, yeah, I like that cat, too. That's a viewer-submitted cat. Oh, you had to go home due to a death in the family? Alexander, right. There's Bella the cat. They're very good. GP in the house. In Illinois, they have a path to $15 minimum wage by 2025. Right. And did you see that White Castle, which is big up here in Illinois, Indiana, now has robots to make the burgers. So, no, what is the robot doing right now? It's doing fries. That's right. It's doing fries. So they have a robot that they're testing to make French fries. That's when you go to $15 an hour minimum wage for that kind of job, a robot eventually takes your job. The robot's going to be $30,000. It's actually called Flipper, the robot, and they're teaching it to make fries because it's going to link in with the system in there. So as soon as somebody orders fries, it'll know that it needs a small fry. It's going to put the exact amount of fries down, no more waste. And they'll be able to fire everybody that makes fries. Had to go home due to death of my family. I'm sorry about that, Benny. My company tried to charge me fuel. I'm not going to be here long. Yeah, boot. Any company that does that, boot them. Boot them. There's no reason for that. If they don't care about that, they're not going to care about you when you have some other kind of problem. Donald, I'm being serious about that question. You're going through a town and a 4-lane with center lane. Does that mean all trucks stay in the left lane till a shoulder returns? No, I don't think so. Marked highway. They're saying stay on the road. Usually stay on a marked highway. Stay on the road because it's a soft shoulder. That's the impression I get out of that sign. It's a soft side. So stay on the marked highway or we're going to be towing you out of the ditch or off to the side. That's what I think. The Mexican restaurant is 1 mile from the headquarters. Oh, that's such a long walk, but worth it for tacos. Ooh, can people bobtail down there? They have room for that. That would be good too. Maybe they could take that Raptor. Isn't that Raptor available that you said is parked there for driver use as well? Maybe drivers could pile in that thing and head on down there. That'd be really good to. That would be really good to do. You think that's going to happen? Who's running a Garmin ELD? Anybody? Does anybody have a Garmin? You were out of ELD last week, right? The Garmin ELD went out. They said everybody had to run a paper log. You do. Everybody maybe not. Maybe you don't know this. Maybe you do. If you have an ELD in your truck, you're still required to have paper logs. Now, there's no minimum amount. What the DOT says is you have to have a supply. of paper logs. So you don't have to have one paper log, but a supply of paper logs. Presumably at least 8. Probably I keep a blank book of them in there. So, which I think is a good idea. If you have loose leaf ones, you can, throw a bunch of them in there, but you're required to have a supply. And then if your ELD goes out, you have to recreate, according to the DOT, to the best of your ability, your last 8 days on paper logs. And then you can continue on your trip. So, and the time you spend recreating that, of course, is on duty time. It's generally good practice to stay on the road. People think, I can just get off here and park, a little part ways off the road or whatever. Some places are a little softer than others. Al Johns, I talked to one company, but it looks like it was easier to find a better paying job in Memphis, but you can't sit on the beach in Memphis unless it's on the river. Yeah, exactly. Look, there's tons of ways to make money. Maybe in that area, maybe trucking isn't the way to make money. I'm not sure. If Eddie McFadden is exactly right. If drivers got paid for everything they do, it would pay better. Is that robot capable of putting way too much salt on the French fries? Casking, yes. It's set up for that. It's set up to completely douse the fries in salt. It's similar. It's called the Medusa setting. Are there any companies in and around Knoxville with a terminal or drop yard? Probably. Yeah, who's in the Knoxville area? Sevierville. Oh, how about that? Alexander is 3 months worth of paper logs, anticipating a big outage. That's pretty good. The last 8 days are required steel horse. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to recreate your last 8 days of logs if you didn't have 8 days of paper logs, right? So I just recommend people just grab a book and throw it in there. A blank book. You can get one at the TA if you have a mask or whatever. Your company actually should provide it, but that's only a couple dollars to be legal. Tell the company, look, give me some paper logs if they don't have one in there. Do you know when a SWIT truck leaves the Loves 3 new parking spots open up? Yeah. Well, they don't want to get scratched by other bad drivers, so they park across the lines. GP Transco are buying more teal trucks. They keep a lot of those teal trucks on 80-90 headed west. Yes, exactly. I know. Sultan, exactly. They head west so that they don't have to come by me. I still haven't seen one of those trucks. Rebecca, how do I raise a trailer? Well, when two trailers get together and love each other very much, they have a little trailer and then they work together to bring it up. What do you mean, Ray? What do you mean by raise a trailer? Did somebody drop it low or drop it down to the ground? What do you mean by that? So this Garmin had a huge outage last week. If you saw that, everybody's ELD just suddenly just gone. And Garmin said, oh yeah, we're having some kind of problem. That's part of the problem. And the FBI, did you see this, came out last week and said all ELDs, they said all of them, are subject to being hacked. Although I don't know who would hack it and what information they could glean from that. I guess they could figure out trucking lanes, but it's easy to do that just by seeing where trucks are. I don't know what the point of hacking it would be, but they did say it's a hacking problem. Asking how to raise my trailer, because I can't remember because they're usually at the right level. Yeah, Rebecca, you're going to have to get out at 76 dew point and start cranking if it's too low. Lower your airbags first to try and smash your way under it, but if it's lower than that, get the cranking low and start cranking. Yep, get a sweat rag for that. We've all been there. Josh, speaking of those masks, I went to my local Pilot and they were $6.99 each. Did it have a logo for $7? You can get at Meijer. They had 5 for $8. They're right by the door too. So if you don't have one, they'll sell them to you right there. So they were made by Hanes. I haven't logged in almost 20 years, even though the yard's so big. You'd think you would have to. Your yard has 2 zip codes and an area code, a couple area codes. But I still have some log books and they're about to catch up with me. All the millions I put in all those years, I bet. TLD Logistics, if you're a company guy or have your own truck, they haul auto parts. Yeah, Toyota Logistics, which I've sent several people to there to train with, would be good out of Tennessee. Plant in Georgetown, Kentucky. Which direction to raise it? Well, all right, if there's no arrow on the side of the trailer, it's going to be the hardest way to crank. So, seriously. So if you start cranking, look at it. If it starts going down or it's really easy, try it the other way, a couple cranks. If that's really hard, that's the way to raise it. And believe me, it's hard work if it's heavy. I've done that. I'm sure many people here have had to do that. You pull up to your trail, especially I drop a hook all the time. Pull up, I'm like, what the heck? Usually my problem, though, is lowering the trailer. That's generally the problem. I pull up to it, and it's like a foot up. Who cranks this all the way? Who's cranking this? Stop cranking. But that's generally the problem I have. You also need to keep a white sheet on the truck in case you come on a dead body and no one's responded. That is an old trucker tale. They used to say you had to have white sheets or whatever, so I've heard that from some old truckers that sit around the counter there. Which direction to turn the landing gear to raise the level? Yeah, the hardest way. So when you crank it, if it's easy, it's the other way. Yep. Some of them have arrows on them, but they don't all have that arrow. If my fries are covered with salt, so they sparkle like cubic zirconia, they're good. Look, you can't have too much salt, right? Who needs to have blood pressure or anything? I heard some Russian hackers holding Garmin at ransom for $10 million. Oh, that's possible. Companies and cities and stuff get hacked all the time. I never even thought about that. They'll hack in and then they lock the place up and say, you pay us in Bitcoin, cash is king trucking, which I've never seen a Bitcoin machine. But they say you have to pay them in Bitcoin and then they just release it. Do you know some of these hackers that do this, they actually have customer service. So that when you call in, they give you a number to call and the customer service talks to you about how to get your computer unlocked. The most incredible thing. Probably better customer service than Microsoft. Your driver's license number is on your ELD. Okay. What could be done with that, though? I mean, yeah, I agree. All your information, most of your information is on it, but what could people get from it necessarily? I'm not sure what brand they were, if it was a single pack or multi-pack. $7 is a lot for a single mask that's not logoed or whatever. Like, I don't have it here. I have a camouflage one that I got on Amazon, a neck gaiter, but it was like $8, but it's patterned. It's not just a white mask, so. Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey, Al Johns. Well, we don't, from a crank, as you know, some of them crank one way, some of them crank the other way. The other day, I don't know why, I had a trailer. It had the crank on the passenger side. So I'm walking back there. I'm like, where's the crank? I thought I have to go get my emergency crank, which I carry a crank and a bolt with me because sometimes you get a trailer without a crank handle. So, but I didn't have to do that because going around the trailer, when I come up the other side, oh, it's on this side. I'm like, who the heck did that? What is this, dyslexia trucking here? What is going on? I was told to turn the cab to drop and to take the lift. It depends. Some of them turn one way, some of them turn the other. You never know. It's not standard. Towards the tandem, you're going up. Towards the drive, you're going down. Maybe. Dane Silver Scoob is a bit from Baylor's a nice guy. Worked his way up to weekends off. All right. Every weekend, and Baylor respects him. Good. He's happy with pay and works for him. He said many times, do what works for. That's what I say. Look, I say that all the time. Many people on here make more money than me. Probably 75% of you do. But I'm happy where I am. I don't work much. So, absolutely. Whatever works for you. If you want to get out there, I was gone for probably almost 20 years of my 32 years of driving. Absolutely. Whatever works for you, do it. Find a company that fits you. There's people that hate a company and people that love it. Not every company is a fit for everyone. If you find a company that works the way you want to work and you're happy there, absolutely. Absolutely. No question about that. He's 100% on that. Couldn't be any more right. Kelly, GP Transfer is paying me to deadhead to my doctor's appointment. Now, look at the difference. Right. So you have an appointment. They even pay you to go over. That's even better than most places, which I think they should just let you go. So that's great. And for that, they're going to get a driver who's more likely to stay. Little thing, just a little thing. And it's not going to cost them much. Because you're not like your doctor's appointment. They're not going to deadhead you across the country. Well, they might. But I'm just saying that little kind of stuff means so much later. It is not standard for which direction to raise the trailer. Correct. Some one way, some other. I do 5 trailers a week that way. So, I may need to send one to Mark. Yes. Where's the taco? Is that coming? Day cab gear jammer. Day cab. I rarely get frustrated when people crank the landing gear just enough so it pulls up their fifth wheel and then could pull out from under it without dropping the airbag, so it jams the gears up. I know. And people, I don't know why, people also hang the landing gear up, which I actually did a video about. Do not hang the landing gear in the holder when you drop a trailer. When the next person pulls up there, it can lock that landing gear, and it's very difficult to get out of the holder. Let the landing gear just hang there, just like droopy dog. It's just hanging there when you drop a trailer. Agree. It's opposite on the passenger side. It's European. Yeah, this was a European one. So I actually drove like a garbage truck from the passenger side back. It was crazy. I'm like, what is going on? Almost had to get the emergency crank out and bolt. Cranks on the passenger side makes me cranky. I know. Why is it over here? And then it didn't have a hook to hold it, so I had to get the Gorilla Tape. I tape it up there so it doesn't go swinging around when I'm driving. Crazy. Sultan, another thought I had is we were deemed essential a little as 2 months ago. Now drivers are receiving death threats and being assaulted openly. Yeah, that didn't take long, did it? That didn't take long at all. Once the store started filling back up, they're like, oh, well, these people they're not essential. What are we doing here? Yeah, I knew that wouldn't take long. Smoking Papa, hello there. The critic, all Swift trailers have crank on the passenger side. Why? Why are they all on the passenger side? I didn't know that. Well, it's a mile away, but our drivers can use a company loaner vehicle, small Ford SUVs, to bring some tacos. Oh, not the Raptor? They can't use the Raptor? Are they in Escapes? That'd be pretty awesome. Since I've had 2 of them, and we're in our second one. Paul Harris, I think they put on the pack side to force a pre-trip post-trip. That's true. You have to at least walk over there. They at least make you walk around to that side to see, oh, this side's totally been sideswiped and it has all flat tires on it. So at least. It was one of the first ones I've seen like that, though, in a long time. What's everyone hauling today? You have ice cream, 44,000 pounds. I'm not surprised. And how's that reefer doing today? Is it keeping up with it? They seal now, right? They're super seals or whatever. They should seal up good now. Some of you old reefer drivers remember going out and hitting the start button, turning it to start, and then crank, holding the switch up to crank. Remember that? And then it would start. And you just turned a knob, kind of like in your house from the 50s, to set the temperature. And you're like, oh, 70, 75, it's somewhere in there, right? I'm all on silver bullion. 1,000 ounces the dollar is done. All right. Will people accept silver bullion as payment? Got pulled into a weigh station for being 384 pounds overweight. I thought it was ridiculous. I know. Tell them, look, it's dollar tacos. What am I supposed to do? I mean, come on. Don't worry. I don't make more than you. Al Johns. Oh, well, at least somebody doesn't. Look, I don't make a lot because I don't work a lot, So, but that works for me. If people want to be gone and that works for them, fine. If they want to be home weekends, fine. If they want to be home daily, fine. Whatever works for you is what you should do. Who wants to get up every day and hate their job no matter what it is? The pay's never worth it. If you hate what you're doing, never worth it. No way. Does anyone know anything about Merck's Global? Ooh, that sounds like a mutual fund. No Dodge Challenger Demon. I know, Alexander. I know they have a Raptor parked over there. They should be letting the drivers use that. Maybe if they had a 10 million mile safe driver, they would get a Raptor to use. The crank is on the right because someone drove it over here from Italy. Wow, that'd be some good miles. Must have been that driver from JCT. I wonder if those trailers with the cranks on the passenger side came with trucks and the steering wheel on the opposite side. That'd be okay with me because a lot of European trucks are V8s, so high horsepower. So I can't wait it. I can't wait to do it. I hate my job. Well, Bill, get out of there then. It's not worth going to a job that you hate. The money's never worth it. When you chase money, you'll never be satisfied with what you do. Ask the yard dog to lift it so you can crank it. Chris, oh, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think about that? That's correct. If you're in a place that's got a spotter, tell him to get under there and lift it up. You just crank the legs down after he lifts it up. That'd be the easiest way, wouldn't it? We don't want the drivers to get too wild. GP Transco, dang it. They should have a fleet of Raptors there in teal with like number 1, 2, 3 or whatever. And, one for each driver. It just sits there and waits for the drivers. Oh, right. That should go in the comment box. There's somebody on here that works for GP Transco. Put that in the comment box. 1 Raptor per driver, and it just waits at the terminal. At each terminal, by the way. Smoke a Papa filled out an app, just waiting to see if they can have you. All right, that's pretty good. Let us know how that goes. Paul Harris, Covenant dropped me in Illinois when I lived in Florida. They just said, get off the truck. How would they know that in the middle of when you're driving? Outside of you taking a physical. How would they find that out? The last trip, I'm serious about that. So that goes up. Okay, how do they know it between physicals? The last trial I picked up, I swear to God, it was dropped by Bigfoot. I know. Where are these people? How are they getting under bridges? Why is it cranked all the way up? That's what they said. I asked them. I go, this is cranked too high. What are you telling the drivers to do? Oh, it must have been an owner-operator. They always say that. I'm like, oh, baloney. It's nice to have the same equipment every day. Yes, that was super nice. I've been on runs like that where I use the same trailer and everything. That's the way to do it, but that's not how it works at the moment. Maybe someday, like over the rainbow, that will happen again. Air Gunner Bob, goodness, thank you very much. And late today, but could stay for the whole show. Oh, good. Second week with the new company. How's it going there? So nice to be in an unrestricted truck. Wow. And no camera. That's even better. Thank you for always pushing for us to move up in the trucking world. Well, I appreciate that. And thank you for moving up. Tell people, but most people won't take the action that they need. All you got to do is take a little bit of action, and bingo, there's plenty of other places out there that you can find just with a little looking around. No camera and unrestricted, that's trucking. Droopy Dog, right? I wondered if anybody would catch that. Misty, good morning. It's good to see you here today. Truck fifth wheel pin releases from the inside the truck. That's true. Oh, I haven't seen that ever before. Yes, mine does that. Mine's one of the only ones still working of the 18s. I WD-40 it all the time, which I recommend everybody do. At least every week you got to spray the crap out of it with WD-40. The other ones that we have from 18, none of them work. Mine's the only one that still releases on its own. But I also have a big puller in there because if anybody has an automatic release fifth wheel, when it does an automatic release, it's a tough pull. So get a puller. Only thing I can think is there a cheaper trailer to buy if cranks on the passenger side. I don't know. Maybe. Why would it be cheaper on that side? That's where the guy doesn't have to walk around to install it. I mean, all they do is putting the gears on one side or the other, right? It has to be ordered that way, I guess. Ford Escape, that's decorated similar to our trailers. That's pretty good, GP Transco. That's the way to do it. So it'd be just like being at home for me. I have a Thermo King on a Great Dane Super Seal. This thing is great. Yeah, efficient, quiet, sealed. It'll hold ice cream temp. I figured at that place they're going to seal that trailer because they haul a lot of that stuff. Fifth release inside the truck, so no good. The switch goes out and causes problems. We've had a lot of problems with them, but I think part of it here is drivers just not doing anything to maintain the mechanism, and so it doesn't work anymore. Be careful while Bill likes to swing dead animals around and hit stuff. Yikes. That would be terrible. They have a turbocharged F-150. Got to drive it once. Tempted to break 100. Then I remember to love my job. Yeah, don't get too crazy. At companies that provide a car, which is not that many, or something to drive, don't get too crazy. I remember years ago, J.B. Hunt used to have a car, or cars up there. They had a terminal somewhere, and they had a bunch of Ford Tauruses. Those of you in Chicago probably remember that. And they were labeled. They had J.B. Hunt all over them. One went by me. Oh my gosh, it looked like they brought it back from a war. Like it had taken over Libya and then come back. I thought, holy mackerel. This isn't even a good look. Plus, who's driving this car around? Do you ever think that JC driver was team driving or training with a student? Yeah, I do think that at least part of that time that was set up for that. But I'll tell you, you shouldn't count miles, or miles shouldn't be counted if you're in the passenger seat. Because you're just a passenger. Safe driving miles, 10 million safe miles, shouldn't be just 10 million miles that you sit there and be driven around. I don't consider those your miles. So, yeah, I agree. Maybe he's teaming at 7,000 miles, but he shouldn't get 7,000 miles of credit for that week. He didn't drive those miles. That's not safe driving. That's safe riding, which anybody can do, even without a license. So, my wife has lots of safe miles too then, I guess, right? She should get a safe mile award. So I think so, and I don't like it. The drivers are sometimes upset when we say it's not possible. I don't understand. I'm just asking for what? You have 400 drivers? How much are 800 Raptors? How much could that be? You probably get a discount, special, and you get them in your own color. They'd be the only ones that color. I'm sure you can work something out with Ford. Also, one is spreading... Anyone know who is spreading the rumor of earning $80,000 a year drive van while being home every night? We get many calls like that. Oh, that's super good. I think drivers see part of that and go, oh, okay, I'll call them. They're the best paying company, which Samsara just put out this week, and so they probably pay $80,000 a year. So I've been eating peanut butter tacos lately. What the heck is that? That sounds scary. Will work for roller wieners. I saw a guy with that sign at Meijer. Maybe through counted team miles. I know, Mr. Chapstick, but I don't agree with it. If you're teaming, those are not your driving miles, right? Because you're a passenger and the truck doesn't have an accident, that's not, you're sleeping and the truck doesn't crash, that's not a counted mile for you where you get a 10 million mile award and get driver of the year for the Oklahoma Trucking Association. Marty, I saw my first Western truck. It was a Peterbilt 579. Oh, really? Westerns all around everywhere. I see them constantly. So, yeah. Western, and I'm sure that driver loves that truck. And by the way, that's somebody I probably make more than, because they don't pay much at Western, unfortunately, but they do have a nice truck. The trucks, did it look good? I bet it looked great, right? Misty wound up running pups last week. Got good, fast at separating and jockeying my dollies. Yeah, first couple days I looked like a clown shoe. The first few times, I agree with you, right? I'd done it. And the first days, you're like, what the heck? But it gets easier, and it turns out it's not that hard, right? And now, if that's the first time you ran doubles, wasn't it worth it getting your endorsement? Because now you're more valuable to the company. You can also say, oh yeah, I can do doubles, no problem, right? No problem. Grandpa, does the truck use diesel or petrol? Grandpa? What the heck? Diesel. Yikes. Diesel. I'll take that, I guess. Extreme upper 30s, already grandkids. Yikes. A premium job would be for Meekum Auto Auctions. Oh my gosh. Just driving the cars across, that would be something. Conway told me that putting a crank on the wrong side of the trailer forced the driver to walk around and do the proper pre and post trip. Roger Penske. So basically, what a company is saying when they do that is, our drivers we know our drivers are lazy. They're not even going to go over there. So we have to force them to go over there. We're going to order the trailers the wrong way to force drivers to walk over there. What the heck? So that must have been why that came that way. A long fifth wheel puller is also an excellent tool for the back of your pickup in case things slide too far forward. Yes, Daniel, it would be, except I don't have a pickup. It also seems like it would be a back/butt scratcher due to its shape and length. But I think it would work for that. I did my DOT physical on the road. Oh, Paul Harris, I see. Sugars were high, medication stopped working, and they changed it up, which is what they should do. They said I had to find my own way home. I love that. Now, that's a company. Isn't that the company that talks about babies are people or whatever in the back of their trailer? Something to that effect, right? There's that sticker. I'm a child. Oh, it's a child, not a choice. I think that's the one, right? So people. And so they care. I mean, really? You're going to do that to a driver? Even if legally maybe you couldn't drive right then, can they not at least get you some way home? I hope that you left there at that time. Or are going to leave there. Cheaper because people don't want to buy trailer with crank on passenger side. Really? Is it going to be? It can't be that much cheaper. I mean, there's a lot of companies that say, I don't care which side it's on. The driver's the one that's got to do the work. I don't have to do it. So, Alexander, the equipment is well kept and saves you time and money. Right. That's true too. And that reefer sealing up saves the company money because the reefer doesn't have to run as much even when it's hot today. So, and keeping up the equipment, it saves you time, and so you're happier, you can make more. It saves them money. Boy, this maintenance thing seems to work out for everybody. A lot of tankers on the passenger side, Marty. Why is that? Why are tankers on that side? I didn't do tankers much. I drove a new Peterbilt with that auto-release fifth wheel the other day. I don't see the point. It said to stand right there to unhook the glad hand. That's true. You have to get out and do everything, and then get back in the truck to disconnect. So that is true. It's not like a spotter. I removed what they're doing with that, at least what they said here when they started getting those, is that it reduces workman's comp claims. Because the pulling motion injures drivers that pull improperly or whatever. And especially if it's stuck, drivers will just try to manhandle that thing out of there. I guess I should say they would person handle it out of there now. But seriously, though, they'll pull on it and strain something. And so, because that is the part that takes the most effort, it doesn't take as much effort to hang up your glad hands. And so it's saving them workman's comp injuries. Same with the tandem sliding, with the button. Almost all of them that I see now are buttons. Once in a while I'll get a lever. But they're buttons, same thing, workman's comp. MG Jackson, I removed the air release from my fifth wheel after the fourth failure. 3 times it wouldn't release, and once it wouldn't latch. That's true. The not latching would make me super nervous. I recommend everybody spray them. The jaws, everything, WD-40, the spring underneath it. At least once a week. I have a can of it in my truck. It has kept mine working on my Cascadia. Many new trucks cannot slide the fifth wheel, meaning it's loaded overweight after return to the shipper, wasting your time. Yeah, that's true. I'm hearing more and more companies do not order sliding fifth wheels. And what they're saying is, oh, well, drivers don't know how to use them. Well, teach drivers how to use them if they don't know how to use them. Still a lot of mouths not to be killed in, Daniel. I agree with that. It is. But if you're not the one driving, it isn't your fault that you're not dead. How about that? So the safe mile thing should be safe miles that you drove. If I ride in a car and somebody is super safe and they drive me around 20 million miles or whatever, I don't have 20 million safe miles. I have 20 million safe riding miles. The driver should get the credit for not getting me killed. So if that's the case, then who was driving them around? Daniel, 800 Raptors, is that a flock or a swarm? Oh, that's both for those. And I can't believe it would cost that much money to have them special painted and delivered. I mean, you get some kind of group discount. Trying to recoup that stimulus money with tickets. Oh, the next check's coming right looks by the end of August. Everybody should have another $1,200. That's what it looks like right now. $1,200 a person, up to $75,000 or $150 for couples, which probably is most drivers, and then another $500 per kid. Back up on the pin and release, and it will pop right open. Yeah, I still do that even with the auto release, and I agree with you. Alexander, fix or repair daily. Oh, really? From somebody on IROC is going to say that? Come on now. IROC. A teal Raptor. Yeah, look, I think that, Marty, I think if they're going to order 800 of them, they ought to be painted just like the trucks. Absolutely. Ford, if you order that many, I bet Ford would work some kind of paint deal out with you. There should be a cleaning house for companies like DAC Report. There should be a clearing house. Yeah, there should, but it's how would that work? I think there should. That's not a bad idea. That guy would have to get 28 and a half years at 350 miles a year to get 10 million. It's possible if you work for 30 years. I don't know about that. I don't think he could do it for 50 years. For 50 years, he's doing 580 some miles a day, 7 days a week. Okay, for 50 years. That's no days off other than February 29th, where he catches up on his shows and does an oil change. That's it. Okay, otherwise he's worked every single day. No delays, no nothing. Putting 580 something down every single day. 50 years. And I didn't go too much farther. I don't know how old he is. It doesn't say. He couldn't have done all that time at JCT because they only opened it recently. So, and they don't claim it was all with him. In Italy, the fifth release handle is on the passenger side. So the trailer crank is on that side, Giovanni. Oh, well, that makes sense. You're already going over. But you're driving on that side too, right? Or no? I don't know what side Italy drives on. So are you driving on that side as well? No, because you're saying it's on the passenger side. All right, so you have to walk around, but you're already over there. Here, I got to walk around just to do one thing. And at least here in the United States, it's unusual to have the crank on the passenger side. I absolutely don't want anything to do with the in-cab fifth wheel release, George Wilson. I don't know. I mean, when it works good. Mine works good. I like it. I use it all the time. Ironically, the loaner truck does not have one, so I'll have to be doing that myself. Must be Western Flyer, not Western Express. No, I think it's Western from Colorado. I'm on Libyan on a jet plane. I don't know if I'll be back again. That's very good. What do you think about the new Freightliner Classic, Christopher Robin? I think that'd be okay if you weren't paying for the fuel. Certainly. One user Western trucks, I lock my doors. Yeah, I seen Peterbilt Longnose and a 579 plain Jane. Who gets a fleet version of it? Then they order Pete and get like a fleet version of it. Yeah, they're so Christian. Paul Harris, exactly. To leave somebody, it should be illegal. I've always thought that should be illegal. The company should have to bring you back to wherever they got you from. So wherever they get you, if they bring you from your house, they got to get you to your house. If you drive to the terminal, they should have to take you back to the terminal. Wherever you work from, it's like they Greyhound you in from your house, they ought to bring you back to your house. It's the least they can do, for crying out loud. The least they could do. It's a child, a choice, but it's a driver, not a ride. Yeah. Look, worst case, they could just have you ride with somebody going up there. It wouldn't even cost them anything. You should leave there. Has anybody heard anything about the tax break? They said no payroll tax break. Yeah, they wanted it, but apparently it's not going to go through. But you are going to get, it looks like, this hasn't passed yet, another $1,200 per person. So married couple or two people, right? However, let's just say per adult, that $1,200, make it $75 or less. And if you got dependent kids, $500 per kid. And so that'll be a nice chunk of change for everybody, I think, coming up anyway. Even the cat wants some money. The cat is saying, look how much food $1,200 could buy me. It turns out not a lot. So that'll buy 2 years of medical insurance for the cat. So keep that in mind, all you cat owners. That's how much it is here. Crazy. $50 a month for cat health insurance. Creepy Joe, watch those hands. How are you today? So I talked to an ex-Swift, now Walmart driver. Oh, and told him front-facing cams have been banned in California under invasion of home privacy. I have not heard that. If you have a link, please email that to me. I haven't heard that at all. So, no, I don't know that that is the case. Elvis goes to Mexico, peanut butter and banana tacos. Really? That'd really be something. This is for GP. Why not can drivers make $80 a year home daily? I thought you were the highest paying trucking company. I don't know what they pay locally. I don't know how many local drivers do you have there, GP Transco. Why do they put a DEF on the wrong side? I've seen that. Paul Harris, that one, that's probably more of a mystery than the trailer crank. I've seen trucks where the DEF's on the passenger side. I'm thinking, who's the brilliant person that thought about this? There's so few truck stops. Every once in a while I'll see one that's got DEF on both sides. Very rare. You'll see the reefer tank over there too sometimes, which isn't quite as bad. But, places like the Bostelmans or whatever that has the reefer pump back there that you could pull up, it's on the wrong side also. So you got to it's like 1975 at the 76 truck stop where you get one pump and you just slide the pump handle. Some people remember doing this across to fill up your other tank, right? Am I right? People remember sliding the fuel pump handle underneath the truck? Oh, yeah. I don't know why those are on the wrong side. Alexander, you heard your previous employers avoiding paying detention, layover, and breakdown because they're so far in debt. I don't know. How do they avoid paying it? They probably just, this didn't qualify or whatever. That's not going to keep drivers, and that'll just be a spiral, and that'll be the end of them, right? Hopefully. Because if they agree to pay something, then they should pay it. That's all. That's all I'm not asking for extra. People say, Mark, you want to get paid. If they agree to it up front, then they should pay it. If they are having financial problems, that's their problem. The fifth wheel release in the cab is great if you're surrounded by a crowd and a riot. That's true. Except it doesn't work if you're moving. Want tacos? I don't eat roller wieners, Christina. It's like I say on the thing there, it's your choice. You can, and they're apparently $1 today. So yeah, either way. Tacos or wieners, always welcome. Here, some chassis have the crank on the right side. What is up with that? Who's doing a pre-trip on the box? I love peanut butter banana sandwich. Good enough for the king of rock and roll. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for us. When I fuel, I spray some in the jaws of the fifth wheel. It helps in the winter. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I wonder what they would say about that at the Loves, though. So I get up there, I drop the trailer, and pull the tractor up into the fuel line, and then spray fuel all over my fifth wheel in the jaws. All right. Because at the Loves, it comes out like 2 gallons a second. So that would be a total disaster. Al John's $2,400. Yeah, look, that's money that's not taxed, right? They didn't tax the last one. They said they're not going to tax it. So, yeah, that's money. Take it. It's your money. Use it how you want to use it. Which major carrier pays you the most to be safe? Well, they all pay you to be safe, presumably, right? So get the one that pays the most without bonuses. Christine, I leased a truck from Sierra England and Gainey. Oh, I haven't heard of Gainey in a while. They consider you an owner-operator. That's true. They do consider you that. This was in 2006. Oh, that's a while ago. Is there anything against them to pay me out of any lawsuits? Oh, not going back that far. Even this J.B. Hunt lawsuit's 10 years old, and it's getting settled. That going back to 06? I don't think so. You'd have to look that up. I haven't heard anything going back that far. My fifth wheel release failed. It was a problem with the air cylinder. The mechanical pieces were all lubed. Oh, well then it would still work manually then. Italy drives on the proper side, which presumably is the American side. So your Ferrari drives on the correct side. I can use that next 1200. I just spent $700 for a new exhaust system for my car and have a Blu-ray habit to support. Charles, exactly. Didn't to straight pipe that like we would here in Indiana? Just cut that cat right out of there. That's what we do here. Cut the cats out, straight pipe it. There are several places around town. Putting my wiener in my taco casking trucking. Thank you very much. Yeah, that is the best of both worlds right there. You get all the best of one with all the best of the other. He must have slip-seated for maintenance, swapping like NASCAR. 1200 is going into savings. That's good. Yeah, that'll be good. You can get a new set of those IROC stickers. Although not a numbers matching IROC with that engine, right? I have an auto shift super singles and in-cab fifth wheel release. How am I not dead yet? Cash is king. Yeah, did you have those super singles last winter? I don't remember. Or is that just on this truck? People always ask about it. So maybe you could do a video about that on how super singles work on the road. I get questions about it a lot, and I have yet to get any super singles. That would make a great video. in between your live shows every 25 minutes, you could put out a pre-recorded video about that. Or do a live show about it. In Italy, we drive on the same side as in the USA. Perfect, because it's hard. I can't get my Ferrari shifted with my left hand. It's not as coordinated. JCT must be counting his drive time while in his personal vehicle. Oh, yeah. He had a 150-mile commute. I didn't think about that. Of course, he never got in his personal vehicle. There's like a 71, Ford F100 in the parking lot with plates that have been expired for 35 years. That's Miles' car, because his last name was Miles, which made me even more suspicious of it. Then I want a letter of exoneration to carry for in-cab release malfunctions. George Wells said, yeah. Are they ever going to get rid of DEF? No. I see a lot of truck stops don't have liquid nitrogen. I believe that's what it is. Liquid nitrogen. Oh, that'd be sweet. I don't recommend putting liquid nitrogen into your DEF tank, as you would freeze it solid immediately. So, no. It's like an ammonia mixture. I heard when you get fired, you have to pay your own way back, or they take it out of your check, and the attacks you every step of the way. Is that true? Yeah, a lot of places do. I don't agree with it. I think they should, any company, no matter what industry it is, if you're traveling for whatever industry, I don't care. If you're fired away from where they got you from, they should bring you back to that point and let you go home from there. To just fire you on the road is ridiculous. But yeah, some companies do that. Yes, they'll take it out of your check. They'll say, oh, here, we'll get you a Greyhound or what. Believe me, they're not flying you home. Even if they flew you out there, it's Greyhound you home. But then, yeah, $79 comes out of your check or whatever. And then you have to fight them for it, which I would. I would always, no matter what, I would put in with the state for unpaid wages, because you're owed the wages that you earned. And in some states, like here in Indiana, you're owed the wages on your next check date, whatever that is. So if you're fired Wednesday in 2 days, okay, your check for this week would pay next Friday. They have to pay you that next Friday. They can't hold your check. They can't mail you a check. We'll mail it to you. It's required to be paid on your next payday. Okay? They can't hold it. They do it, though. Because why? Nobody does anything about it. Believe me, Friday morning, if I didn't get my check, I'd be on that website saying they didn't pay me my wages. And everybody should do that. Look up your state and see exactly what the rules are. That's how it is here in Indiana. They cannot hold your check past your next date. That's in a lot of them. But yeah, a lot of them just take it out of your check. And in Indiana, you have to sign for that. Okay, they can't just take it. You've got to agree to it at the time it's taken, which I love. So they'd say, we're going to take that out of your check. I wouldn't agree to it. Simple as that. They just don't have anybody do it because nobody ever does anything to them about it. Yard dog must have some kind of... Yard dog does have self-releasing jaws. Yeah, and they seem to work hundreds of times a day. Argus, congratulations, Larry Miles from JCT. I don't know what he was driving. Optimus Prime. Right, that's the only way to get it. Help, I'm being held hostage at a POS Covenant truck. Lies and no accountability. Well, you're not held hostage there, right? Everybody can leave whenever they want to. As they say right at the beginning, always, hey, you are an at-will employee here. So, agree. Get a new job if it's not suiting you and move on. Millis transfer also counts miles for trainers sitting in the co-pilot seat. That's not driving. I don't think that's driving. Those aren't your safe miles. This should be driving miles for anybody at any company. Just the miles you drive. When you move next year, you're going to reveal who you drive for. Yes. If I have to change jobs, I will. The solenoid for the Auto 50 usually goes out after 5 months on my T680. Great. Am I lucky? Well, how do all the spotters work all the time then? Maybe they're always in the shop. Covenant might as well be Sam England and U.S. Express. If they're leaving people on the side of the road for having a medical problem on the road, that's ridiculous. Get the person back. And look, they can get a medical change, I'm sure. I'm not a doctor. You should see your local FMCSA field office for more information. But it would seem like you could work with your doctor and get a physical passed it, in the future week, month, whatever it takes. And then they put you back in a truck. That's the way to treat somebody. Hey, we'll get you home. And when you're ready, when you can pass the physical, right, we'll get you back in for physical and we'll put you back in a truck. Wouldn't that have been a better thing to do? Wow. And then what do? They keep a driver. That's what they do. Straight pipe for off-highway use, MG Jackson. That's true. But on a Taurus, right, I had the exhaust brake, basically, and it sounded like a bus. And I took it to Ford, and they're like, we got to replace the whole exhaust. It comes as one piece because the law, EPA, blah, blah, blah. You got to have a catalytic converter. I'm like, oh, okay, great. So I go down to this little place down Teal. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the place. It's still there, a little muffler shop. And I'm like, dude, what can we do here? And he's like, oh, he looks at, oh, yeah. He goes, $125. He goes, we'll just take that rusted piece out, and I'll weld you a pipe all the way to the back. Bingo. I go, now that is service. And that's what I did. But right here where I live, no inspections. So there you go. Caleb, what's the topic? Right. It's whatever you want at the moment. If you count the miles you're riding in a truck, you can imagine every 10 years how much Sierra England 3-bunk truck trainers claim they will have probably, oh, right, cash is king. Well, what about them? They get triple the miles. It's pouring rain, Christina. I wish it would be pouring rain here. It's supposed to rain here soon. Kyle, been a while since I caught a live stream from you. All right, well, thanks for being back here. I try to get out here every Monday. DEF is cat pee, kind of. It's urea would be better, right? Don't put the liquid nitrogen in your DEF tank. Although, if you are going to do that, please take a video of it. Set the video camera up first and then pour it in there. And see what happens. Have a super single flat. You're waiting for an eternity for tire repair. Tony's 5,000. Depends on your company and how responsive they are to get you moving. When my truck was hit by lightning, within 2 hours, I was leaving with another truck. So when I was hit by lightning in Memphis, Indiana, near the Loves, that's where I got into. And they had another truck to me within 2 hours. So not bad. When is the free Wiener for Loves? Oh, anytime you see me in a Loves. Do you have any information on YRC other than their stock is $2.50 today, down $1? Free insurance, 75-mile speed ratings on singles. Oh, perfect. So same rating. So we can get cruising on these tires. You ought to be the head of the ATA. Oh, that would be great. Write to them and see what they think about that, because they won't even write to me. That would be a lot of fun, believe me. If you have a flat with duals, you probably shouldn't be riding down the road slinging rubber everywhere. Casualty King Trucking. I see that a lot. I'll see somebody no mud flap and then they're running a flat and rubber's flying all over the place. Can we get pulled over or something? You're destroying everybody's car. Could have used that tip a month ago. Paycheck so far, $271, $996, $374. Oh, $652. Where's the money? Leaving tomorrow. Yeah. For $374, what do they say? You must ask them. $271 say, what are we doing here? What is going on? They probably say, well, the miles are down. And I would say, why'd you hire me? Why are we doing anything? You know. Just got the fine with Wild Bill. All right. Always nice to chat with trucking interest fans. That's great. I bet that was an interesting conversation. Mark the Man, thank you for answering all my questions. Christopher Robbins, well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I can't do this with just me here. I look foolish just talking on the computer. I try to drop the trailer. Look, you could all be anywhere else, and you're here. That's what he says, but it's true. And so I personally appreciate it because this is the most fun of the week that I have. I tried to drop the trailer. Where was the bar until a driver showing me there's an air button? Oh, you didn't even have the handle? Everyone I've seen at least has the handle in there. Because if that stops working, you can't get it disconnected. YRC Freight, is it worth leaving food service? Oh, Cisco. How much does Cisco pay? I mean, people, we eat a lot. It seems like Cisco would be busy. Most spotter trucks get routine maintenance from what I've seen anyway. Yeah, so if it's getting maintained, they must work all the time. Well, Bill just got off the phone with GP Transcom. They spoke to me with respect and kindness. I don't even get that in my place of employment. Yeah, that's true. That's good. So there says something. Maybe you should have a different place of employment. The company thinks that if you're doing drugs, it's the driver's fault, and they would be correct, but they should at least get them to the nearest yard, of course. And if it's something where you can't drive, I get that. And they go, look, you can't drive. But come on. Get the person back to where you got them from, wherever that is. That should be a law from every place of employment. You should get your employees back to wherever they got you from. Out of trucking, I've been nothing but Hosed, Swift, TMC, and now Covenant. I can make this money cutting grass. There's good places out there. There are. You've been with the larger carriers, which are usually only a good place to start. Paul, Covenant kept me home for 90 days and without pay. Couldn't even collect unemployment. He wants to see his 90 days. Oh, to look at the blood sugars. Why couldn't you get unemployment? You're unemployed. why couldn't you get disability? Why couldn't you get, temporary disability? Because you're disabled in a way that you can't drive. You can't do your job because of a medical condition. It seems like that's disability to me. I disagree. If the driver gets fired while on the road for drug or alcohol, the company does not owe him or her a ride home. If you're doing something, all right, let's put it this way. Illegal. How about that? Something illegal where it would otherwise be illegal. I can understand, get out, you're fired. But if somebody has a medical condition that they didn't know about, that they find out about on the road that prevents them from driving legally, could the company take you back home and say, look, when you're ready, let us know. We'll put you back in a truck. That's, a good company might do that. Maybe for illegal stuff. All right, I could see illegal stuff. Finding on the side of the road, I guess if you're getting arrested is one thing. Did eventually find a new company, gave them the same courtesy, left the truck at the Orlando yard. Good. I believe that a nationwide law, when you're separated from the company, the first payday you are to be paid all money due to you, whether it's paid in deposits or ELD. At least here, look, because I've dealt with a lot of these people in Indiana that get fired. In Indiana, they have to pay you the way they've always paid you, however that is, however you get your pay, on the day the pay's due. They don't get to say, oh, it's been direct deposit, but this last check, because we're going to look at things, we're going to mail it to you later. They don't get to do that here. On the day your pay's due, go immediately to the state site and put down there, this company refuses to pay me my wages. They can't do it. Cassius King says there's a beef shortage. I know. Why does Arby's not have beef of all places? And Wendy's does. TJ Jones, what's up from Lee's Summit, Missouri? All right, what's happening out there today? This last weekend would have been the GATS truck show, by the way, or GATS is coming up or something, right? Drivers don't have any room to complain about low pay. If they stay, move to a company that will pay you and treat you better. Air Gunner Bob. That's totally correct. I'll get a letter from somebody and we'll talk for a while and say, well, go check this out. And then 3 months later, they're still at the same place, still not making money. And they're writing, and I'm kind of frustrated. I'm like, you have to take some kind of action. If a place like this getting $200, $300, that can't go on. So you're going to have to take action to move yourself out of that place. The only reason they get drivers is because, some drivers stay there or whatever. That can't happen. The spotter pin lock is operated pneumatically, not electrically. Okay, so it's air operated. Casking Trucking, are you going to continue the number of live shows? I'm looking forward to the next one. Right, it's probably already happened and over. In Florida, 6 drivers average 70. That's going to be tough to beat, especially to start. U.S. National Hot Dog Day was last week. Dang it. That's when Love's had the free hot dog. Coupon was on the Love's app. Steel Horse. Oh, I don't have their app. See, I didn't know that. I missed out on a Wiener. You were taking home $900 a week at Rail during flatbed. If you want to give them a try, 3,000 miles per week, that's 30 cents a mile. Holy mackerel. Take home, so 40 cents a mile. Spotter trucks don't have a handle. Let's get our spotter expert on that. Cisco is slow because dine-in restaurants. I was about to apply to U.S. Foods, but they aren't hiring in your area. How about Dot Foods? We have that out there. If they're in your area, that's a good place as well. If you want to stay with food. Medical situation, good company would get the driver home. They'd get him home and tell him, look, when you get this corrected or when you can pass the physical, there's a truck ready for you. The job is waiting for you. That's what they should have said. And that's all they have to do is keep a driver. Cost them getting home. What? They'd sure Greyhound you, I'm sure, especially Covenant, $100 and say, there's a truck waiting for you when you come back. Let us know. And that's it. Call us. Chris, can you pee in your DEF tank? If you can reach it. Sorry. GP Transco, sorry your company isn't respectful. Well, GP Transco, as you know, a lot of companies do not respect their drivers. That's why as soon as everybody, someplace like Samsara or whatever mentions you in the news, you get flooded with calls because people aren't respected, certainly. I don't think I've ever seen an overweight food service driver. Myself, I was not in proper condition. You would be soon, though, right? I'm sure it's that Cisco job probably is a lot of work. There's no question about that. You're going to work. It's the management. They all came from the yard. I'm surprised that they were drivers. Beef shortage, see a lot of cattle. Grab one. Yeah, that one driver got in trouble for running those people over. Steel Horse, I waited all day for Mark's hot dog video. I must have missed it. I didn't even know about it. I can't believe the National Hot Dog Council didn't send me a memo about that. Who supports their product more than me? I'm trying to get Wieners in the hands of everyone. Someone once said that it is a good idea to have at least a couple of grand in your bank account if you need to get yourself home. Charles, yeah, a couple hundred. Couple grand, nice. I'll Uber. I like to Uber myself from Oregon to Texas. Yeah, I think a couple $100, $300 would get you home. I mean, a 2-day car rental would get you back to wherever you are, basically. GP Transco won't hire you. You have 2 warnings on your PSP. I don't know if that's really fair. Well, I don't know. Every company, GP included, GP Transco has their own categories of what they'll hire. Go to get a copy of that and get it changed. Try to get that changed. Right, here's Wild Bill. Spotter trucks don't have a handle for what? In Central Florida, Cisco's booming. Great pay and benefits. However, I don't want to throw cases anymore, I'm sure. If I go to YRC, I'll take a pay cut, but I'm really considering LTL. I'm just nervous about yellow. But look, if that's not something you want to do, then absolutely don't do it anymore. I totally agree. We're starting to film the 3rd episode of the story of Drivers tomorrow morning. It might just be our best one yet. GP Transco. All right, I'm waiting to see that. These are like cinematic productions, by the way. People that haven't seen them, go check them out. GP Transco's grabbing up all the good drivers, and they seem like a good company. I know. All the good drivers are there, and so now all these other companies don't have anybody to come and work there, so everybody's going over there. Of course, the thing is, GP Transco only has so many trucks. I've heard that rail was fair about mileage, not fond of zip to zip. That's not great. Not anymore. Wish my bank counted my money like Mr. Miles counted his 10 million miles. Look, yeah, that kind of made me think like this is some kind of joke video or whatever, because the guy's name is Miles. He's at JCT to start with. Nobody would want to have their picture taken and say that. It would seem like, and then the Oklahoma Trucking Association, but look, it's a legit story out there, so I don't know. Is it real? Maybe. A company, would they hand that kind of a word out? JCT would, yeah. What about Central Transport? Oh, is there Central Transport in your area? They're addressed to address it rail. That would be a lot better. At least you don't have to go down basements. Oh, right. My 3 days at North American were enough for me for that. Carrying stuff up and down stairs. That's a big commitment. Thanks to COVID, I'm still waiting on my 1,000,000-mile plaque. Oh, Joe, why can't they mail it to you or whatever? And at least you get a plaque or something. Here, they're like, at least you should be happy to still have a job, you know. For the few trucks they have left, you can always go check out GP Transco. Don't forget about Fleet Nav Systems as well. They're live on Tuesdays, and be sure to get in on the lightning round. Cash is King Trucking is live constantly, so you can go over there. Super hilarious. And also Jay is live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And he's live a lot during the week too. So, but he doesn't have a regular schedule during the week, but he's also live a lot during the week. So go see Jay. And I didn't click that, so there's that. Like an ad break, almost like a regular person. You might give them a try. Yeah, look, worth a call, right? Any place is worth a call. But figure out what you want. Not, the industry or whatever. What do you want out of a trucking job? I want to be home, or I want to be gone, whatever it is. Figure out what you want and then ask the questions, ask the place if that's what you're going to get there. And you can be upfront with them. Say, look, this is what I'm looking for in a job, these things. So if you don't have these things, I'd rather not come there because I don't want to have to quit. And a place should appreciate that. If you have these things, that's exactly what I'm looking for. But if you don't try to just recruit me because I'm not going to stay long. I would, as an employer, I'd really appreciate somebody that knew exactly what they wanted. And if I didn't have that, then we could part company and be friends. Rather than getting somebody on, it seems like a company wouldn't want to take the time to get a driver on, especially an experienced driver, put him through orientation, bring him in, motel, whatever, and then 2 weeks later they quit or whatever. It just seems like a huge hassle for both of you. Find exactly what you want. It's what you want, you can do it. You'll get a new or newer truck as well. Yeah, bed bugging can't be that bad. And hernias and ulcers and back problems shows you worked hard. Exactly. It was hard. The 3 days I did it was hard. Where's Fleet Nav Systems today? I don't know. They probably have some kind of meeting. They're a big corporation. They have all these corporate meetings around water coolers and stuff. I don't know what they're doing. They didn't write it and say they wouldn't be here or anything. 30 years, Todd McGuire. 30 years, no tickets or accidents. All right. I just had a company tell me that I need to go with the trainer over the road. Oh, yep, that's correct, because you're a city driver. That's correct. They would tell me the same thing now, that you're going to have to go with the trainer because you don't have over-the-road experience. Even though I have 20 years of road experience, they'd be like, no, that doesn't count because it was years ago. And so what they're doing, if that going on the road is something you want to do, they're just losing a driver. Why wouldn't they want a driver with 30 years experience? Because for a while you haven't been on the road? No. If some of that time is road time, that should count. But again, companies, that's their policy. It's crazy, but I assume you're not going to do it, because I wouldn't. That's my union's answer to anything that's presenting to them. Just be glad you have a job. Exactly. That's a great attitude to have for an employer too. Hey, you're lucky you're working here. Oh, okay. Love it. GP Transco, regarding trucks, we actually had to add another 20 trucks on top of the 108 we already had on order due to driver demand. Wow. The number of drivers we can hire is limited. Yeah, you can't hire all a million drivers. That'd be a lot of, you need more people in the office. You need a bigger headquarters too. But so 20 more new trucks coming in. Ooh, I bet Freightliner was glad to hear about that. They're like, oh, finally somebody's going to order trucks. I would have really pushed them on the on the discount. That's great though, that you're expanding. A lot of places are contracting. A lot of the pilots have the pumps close to the liquid nitrogen. Not too many trucking companies buying these trucks, I guess. I see them every once in a while. The most I see on the road are UPS trucks. I'll see those on LPG or whatever running around. Yeah, I don't see too many liquid nitrogen trucks. YB, I work for Sigma, the sister company to Cisco. Yeah, they're sisters. They're identical cousins, really, like Jodie Foster. Everything manual labor. Exactly. The only people with lift gates have been here 30 years, work 25 hours a shift, and aren't paid by the hour. That's a long shift, 25-hour shift. How do you get a 25-hour shift? Now I'm curious about that. Since the show started, you have 7,000 miles on it, Wild Bill. That's pretty good. Not quite as good as Mr. Miles there, or his name I can't think of. First name. Would have applied to GP Transco, but I needed more home time than what can be earned there. Yeah, so, and that's a perfect example. They don't make any bones about that, and companies shouldn't, about how long you're out. If you live here, this is how long you're out. And so then if that doesn't work for you, you shouldn't work there. That's perfect. I mean, that's great. What you knew what you wanted, that's not what you want. Perfect. That's exactly how everybody should do it. Everybody be a lot happier in their job rather than just settling. Never settle in life. Don't settle, and stop valuing yourself at less than you're worth, and no matter what you're doing. That's Motivation Monday. I've heard Central Transport doesn't maintain their equipment. I see their ratty equipment running around. I'm like, yikes. But for all I know, they run good. Home time depends on where the driver lives, says GP Transco. What state is your home, and how long do you want to be out on the road? Exactly. So depending where you live, they can get you home or not. And that's no problem. Everybody's up front. If everybody would just be up front, we can't get you home every 3 weeks. That's too long. Then we part ways. No problem. Okay for me? Okay, then that driver gets hired. Bingo. Cash King Trucking has changed his channel name to Live as King Trucking. He needs to. YouTube's probably going to make him do that. Imperial NYC. A large company told me I had to go with a trainer because I had no over-the-road experience. That's true. I'm like, but I drive trucks in New York City. Over the road, don't even want to go there. Yeah, they don't care. And it's always like cross-state experience. Like, what kind of thing is that? Oh, because you don't cross state lines. I've seen that too. You have to be 5 states or something like that. What kind of thing is that? In the East, you can cross 5 states in a day. But yeah, I agree. A lot of places do that. GP Transco, they look for a year of experience. They do want experience. Clean safety record, of course. And 7 years of clean criminal history, as well as overall professional attitude. They'll have a professional attitude with you, and you have one with them, and customers, and everybody's happier. Believe me, at a job that you like, though, also, I think you just are more professional at the places you go, too. Paul Harris wants one of the new trucks saved. I live in the UP of Michigan. Oh, 7 for 1 wasn't going to do it for my wife. Otherwise, I've applied. There's probably not a lot of freight that goes up there, so I agree with you. Todd Heifel, it's Todd from Peoria, Illinois at 83. Yeah, the dew point is what's killing you today, though. You're not that far from me, and crazy. My uncle used to have a pool hall in Peoria, Illinois. I said that even though no one cares. I don't remember the name of that place. That's nothing. That was when I was a little kid. I backed up 200 miles today, and I'm still on line 1. That's pretty good. How many miles in reverse is that guy? He's one of those, that guy. That's what he should have said, that 10 million mile driver. He's one of the guys that says, I got more miles going backwards than you even ever know about going forwards. Wow, Bill, identical twin is not Jodie Foster, it's Patty Duke. Dang it. I thought it was Jodie Foster. Isn't she the... Okay, Patty Duke. No one knows what I'm talking about. Oh, that reminds me. From last week, even though no one but me has thought about it, I talked about that police officer chief in the Rolls Royce. Burke's Law. I'm saying it. So there, Burke's Law. It's March since they hired any drivers. Okay, well, hopefully they'll get back to that. But they didn't let anybody go or anything, did they? Steel Horse, 25 hours times 30 years. Do you have 10 million miles? If you're working 25-hour shifts. Mark, I saw your 10 million mile driver video. I've been driving 5 years and have 5 million safe miles. You'll catch that guy in no time. You must either work at KLLM or JCT, because we know from the awards that they give out, that's where the miles are. And that's why they don't pay anything for detention at KLLM. You never get it at $12 an hour, but who cares? You're rolling 9 million miles in 30 years like that guy. We team drive at Sigma, so let's say my first stop is Wendy's, all right? Your first stop is Wendy's. In Key West, which is 7 hours from Orlando. I'll have about 10 hours of work, then another 5 or 6 hour drive back. How does that work? Where I'm located, I can go on a 4-state killing spree and be home for lunch. I know, because you would qualify. Okay, I see what you're saying, right? You got all that work down there at Wendy's in Key West. That's, I don't know what to say about Sigma for that. Kyle, I have no criminal history, but I'll have to go over the road again for a year the way it sounds. I was over the road, but I got out due to a broken hand. I'll keep you folks in mind when the time comes. All right. You remember, you can still eat a wiener with your other hand. What do you think will be the 51st state? I think the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas will merge. I thought it was going to be CHOP, right? You know where to find us if you want some information. Give GP Transco a call. Well, I'm out. Okay, Al, got to go and do family stuff. Stay safe and God bless. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Let us know how it goes down there if they get something that's got some pay. I mean, the cost of living is the thing too, though, right? I mean, like here in Lafayette, my apartment is cheap, okay, for $715. It hasn't gone up for years. This is the third year or so that rent has not gone up, okay, and that's not terrible. I know people are paying 3 times that, depending where you live. So I also don't have to make as much money because doesn't cost that much to live here. And that's part of it too. Mexico, 51st state, immigration problem solved. Oh, that would solve a lot of problems. But then we got to take the wall down that they already built. It's all shiny and everything. So everyone's still there. So just like a freeze. At least everybody kept rolling. I mean, I did my part. In the last couple months, I've been at Wendy's constantly. They put up that new breakfast sandwich, and it drew me in. There's nothing I could do about it. You're getting ready to have storms there, Christina? It got dark. I will say it got really dark outside. So, Alexander, Puerto Rico should be a state, but they vote on it all the time down there and say no. So, Puerto Rico's had a number of votes, and the people there don't want to become a state. GP Transco sounds like the holy grail of trucking. If I get back in the business, I may keep them in mind. Look, every company is worth a call. But I have a list ready, though, of the things that are important to you. First, at truckinganswersnation.com, I have a page with a bunch of questions to ask a company. Pick out the questions that are going to suit your lifestyle of what you want. Don't ever settle for a place because you're not going to be happy. I want to be home every week, but I'll take 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You're not going to be happy. It's not going to work out for you. Wait until you find the place that you want so you'll have a better life, right, overall. If it's being home every week, then don't take a place where you're gone for 3 weeks. You're just not going to be happy there. Kyle, if it ain't broke no more, besides I prefer the breakfast sandwiches. Oh, yeah, I mean, they are so good. I wish Wendy's would. I'm like Cash is King now, trying to get a sponsor. Wendy's could sponsor this channel and give me free breakfast sandwiches. I would talk about them 24 hours a day. Everybody that has not had one needs to go and get your Baconator. I think it's number 7. I don't think Puerto Rico pays taxes like we do, and they don't want in because of that. Cash is King Trucking. Yeah, that's certainly possible, right? It could be a tax thing or whatever, but they vote. They voted a number of times in Puerto Rico and say no, they don't want to be a state. So nobody can force them to be a state. So they just don't get to be a state until they vote. Once they vote on it, then they're in, I guess, because you can already travel there and everything. You don't need a passport. They're a territory. It's a long drive because you can't drive there. I don't know. I was in public school. NASA needs to fire Elon Musk and hire Larry Miles for the missions to Mars. Yeah, Larry Miles has got more time than all Teslas put together. Even the one that goes through that hole underneath Las Vegas. Have you ever watched Smart Trucking? I have. Similar to your channel. Great information. Both great channels. Thank you very much. I appreciate being in the company of that channel. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm a subscriber to Smart Trucking, absolutely. And they do some live shows too, which are a lot of fun over there for them. The federal government bailed them out by purchasing their debt a few years back. Alexander, who is that? Who got bailed out? Cash is King is going live again. How does he do it? I know he's had 4 live shows since I started here. Kyle, why not see if Canada wants to merge with us? They could be another state. We could be another province. That'd be great. Hey, Canada, do you want to merge with the United States? Wonder what they would think about that. Didn't we do the 5440 or fight? Remember that? I see GP Transco trucks on a regular basis, Air Gunner. They're always clean and driven in a manner that the company would be proud of. I see ones, but seriously, not the teal ones. I see a lot of owner-operators. That I don't know how many they have, but the ones I see seem to regularly be owner-operator trucks. I'm like, a red Pete, what is going on over there? Kelly, I live in Oregon, and they got you home easily. Okay, perfect. They do have a West Coast terminal, West Side. Southern only because they are tired of the Chicago and Cook County BS. Yeah, who isn't? They should move on this side of the line. Waupun Truck Line show mid-August still on. All right, where's that going to be, the light show? Oh, up there? Is that up in across the bridge going to the UP? The Traverse City Bridge or whatever? Is that the light show? I'm not sure. I think, Christina, no one should pay taxes. Okay, that is always a thought. Why not have a value-added tax? Just when you buy something, would that be acceptable? Like, no income tax. I don't really agree with the income tax. It favors people that have a business and disfavors employee. How about just a tax when you purchase something? So, and that would, people that bought more, so the people with more money would pay more tax. That's a way to do it as well. And like here in Indiana and a lot of states, there's no tax on food. So you can at least get your food tax-free, most of it. Puerto Rico got bailed out of their debt. Oh, okay. Although probably still vote to not be a citizen, though. We try to stay on top of it when it comes to safety and maintenance and cleanliness at GP Transco. I wish a lot of companies, more companies did that. I'm always sad to hear about a company that says we don't ever allow the drivers to wash the trucks. I mean, you really never, but that's more common than I'm hearing about out here than I would like to see. There should be regular washes at least once in a while with these same people that work at the companies and never allow truck wash, never wash their car. They buy a car and never wash it. I mean, it'd be a total disaster and it doesn't look good. UPS washes every one of their trucks every single day. Every day. And they make money. I just loaded 2,000-pound totes full of shelled whole eggs. I could make 40,000-pound omelet. Shelled whole eggs. Wonder how they get the eggs in those little cartons then. Would they put one each egg and they take the shell off it? That'd be something. No property tax, no income tax, no sales tax, Christina. Okay, I don't like property tax either because you purchase the property. If anything, you'd pay tax once on it and that's it. But no sales tax. Where would, the government has to do some things. Even as a libertarian, I think there's some things the government does that they're required to do constitutionally. So what would the money come from? Only an excise tax? We could do that constitutionally. Steelhorse, after they vote, yes, I think the president has to legislate Congress as well. Oh, so they don't just get in? They got to go ask permission? I don't know how becoming a state works. Well, Bill, how was it when Hawaii became a state? How did they do that? Taxes should be like donations sent to a no-touch account so we can see where our taxes go towards. Oh, you wouldn't want that. I don't think people would want that. Would be a disaster, by the way. It's kind of crazy to see 10-year-old company truck with a rusty trailer. I hate that. Belong to a company that has 3,000 trucks. Sadly, there are a lot of those out there. I pull them all the time. I get a trailer and you go in the back and it's all rusted. I'm like, who is taking care of this trailer? Schools are closed, you have to pay school tax. Now that I agree. The money they spend per student should go back to the parents if they're not going to open the school. I agree. We allow 2 washes a month during summer unless something unexpected, and during the winter, allowed as needed. I love being able to keep my truck clean at GP Transco. Yeah. Don't you feel better in a clean truck too? I mean, they come and wash the trucks here every couple of weeks, and I love that. You get in, you're like, oh, this is super great. Right. My understanding is that the Constitution does not require taxes. I agree. I'm saying they can levy an excise tax. They're allowed to levy that tax. So I'm saying, would that be the way for the government to make its money? If one of our trucks comes into the yard and drops a trailer, it gets washed and checked over at a minimum. Oh, that'd be nice. Any empty trailer gets washed inside and out thoroughly. That's great. So the next driver gets to pick up a trailer. They don't have to run down and get the thing washed out. I didn't make it clear that the eggs have no shells. I know, so I'm thinking that big cardboard thing where the eggs, or the styrofoam thing where the eggs come in, but all there are is eggs in it. So no shells. It's just that they have to crack each egg into the dozen egg thing, and that's what I assume you have. Am I close? S. Isaacs, via constitutional amendment. States don't have to come on by amendment. The states didn't come on by an amendment, right? By an act of Congress. YB Nick Sigma, on our way to our first stop, my partner is in the sleeper berth. Once we get there, we unload. And once your 14 clock is up, he drives back tired. Teaming for me has never been great. Okay, so I'm not a fan of it. But yeah, so if he's really tired, eventually somebody's going to really die or have an accident. That, no matter what it pays, then that's not worth it just because of that. And so he's sleeping right now. It's afternoon. He should be on the same shift. I'm sure that doesn't work that way there. I always tell drivers to try to arrange that if they can. You'll be much more awake. That's why I like doing the same shift basically every day. I get to sleep whenever I want. I just get up, and I'm not tired then during the day. I don't have to, be exhausted from all the change in shifts. Schuster has an on-site trailer truck wash and fuel island. It's convenient. Yeah, so you can get it done while you're there. Get all that stuff done. I totally agree. Fleet Nav Systems is here right at the end. Hello there. People were asking about you today. I hope you're doing good. They could, but I want no government. People should just follow the 10 Commandments. Christina, that wouldn't go over good for people that are not of the faith of the 10 Commandments. So that would be a problem. I don't think that would work out good at all. Hi, Fleet Nav, because what about, there's not free speech and stuff. I'd rather follow the amendments. I'd rather follow the Constitution, certainly. I wash my truck all the time at the fuel island. Well, look, they have those washers right there. You just grab them and just squeegee the truck right off. And the tire. You can squeegee the tires out to that. Do people know that? T-Mega Sigma isn't optional. It takes 2 men to a truck. Why? Just because the run is too long? So I'm saying if it's not optional and you can't get any sleep, it's time to look elsewhere, just anywhere else, because the teaming isn't going to do it for me anyway. You just can't sleep. I did it for a little bit, no sleep. Like I always say, every bump you think you're dead. I'm sure the person back there, and I'm sure everybody that is doing that, so they're up with their family and they're not ready to sleep today because they're home with their family. That's why that kind of thing just shouldn't go. No way. Fleet Nav System, catch you tomorrow. It's going to be the last live stream for a while. What is happening? What's going on over there? Is it because Casking Trucking puts so many live streams out that you can't get them out of there? How these eggs are in gigantic plastic. The totes look like those overpriced coolers. Really? Are these going to some food service thing or whatever? A gigantic tote of eggs. Is that what's on the bills too? Totes of eggs. Looking to up the quality of our content, so after tomorrow will be out until the end of August. Fleet Nav Systems. Yikes. When I was teaming, we split the day 12-12 regardless of the truck movement. I don't like it, but I agree with you. But at least you do the same schedule. So even if you were stopped that whole time, that was that person's 12 hours, then your 12 hours, at least just keep on the same schedule. That's something. New FMCSA amendment, proper personal hygiene for drivers. Well, that's something we could all get behind, certainly. Toe cutting and toenail cutting and proper hygiene. Maybe instead of handing out masks, they could hand out, Mitchum. So just one question, Mark Fu. I was making $100,000 without leaving my family. Sweet. I've been trucking for a year. Nice. Am I ever going to be able to make similar money? Why are you not doing that now? I mean, look, if you're making $2,000 after a year and home daily is what you're suggesting, Why are you not doing that now? What did I forget about that? Because that $2,000, I mean, that's super good money. I don't make anywhere close to that kind of money. So, my team Fuzzy Nugget, the cat, she nips my arm every day. 20:30 to stop and play mice. Oh, the cat here was biting my feet the other day. I'm walking around, she's like a total attack. There's Fuzzy Nugget for people that were wondering. Right? How about that? Very cute. Viewer submitted a cat. Which LTL company do you recommend in Central Florida? There aren't that many. Also, is Texas a good state? Well, there'd be more in Texas probably. Look, I would just start calling them to see which one suits you. That's close to your house. Don't do this hour commute. We got people that commute in an hour or more. I think that's crazy. That's 10 hours a week that you're sitting in your car. Okay, so I'm not a fan of that. But find a place close to you that's going to suit your needs. Where there's no teaming. Tell them right away, I'm exhausted from teaming. I want to make sure there's no teaming. Fleet Nav, someone wanted the ag exemption video. We're going to be shooting it and getting it out. Just looking to get it reviewed. Oh, right. You did say that you were working with this guy, G. Lucas. You said his name was G. Lucas for your video. So that should be really good. Quality of Cash King videos is top notch. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll miss you. I was hoping to catch some of the shows, which I didn't get to catch that many because of a time change. So please let us know when you'll be back live. Years ago, Henderson team drivers and one guy got teamed up with an actual serial killer. But what was he a serial killer of drivers, or was he just, because there's always some specific thing. If it's not, I serial kill my teammates, then it's probably okay. You're probably safe. It's the other people that have to worry. So that isn't super bad. Unless they're killing dispatchers or whatever. They only kill my teammate, and then that's a problem. Alexandra, my friend got pulled over doing 90 and a 70. Sweet. Goes on the deck. I don't know. I think there are people that... Was it in a car? If it's in a truck, yeah. You're busted then, right? I think that's going to be a problem. Is it in a car? I don't know if in a car it goes on their deck. But can they fight it? I would fight that. It's 20 over. That's a serious violation with a CDL. So I'd totally fight it. You have to at least call a lawyer. That reminds me, you have to do the lightning round. Don't forget about the lightning round tomorrow. The eggs are going to a bakery. That's what I figured. Who else buys eggs in a cooler sized amount? I would like one cooler sized amount of eggs. Yes, I need 700 eggs. I like omelets. Big Dave's at CRST Expedited. Oh, I love how they put Expedited on there, too. I noticed they start doing that. Team driving is tough. 2 more months to go and I'm out. Yeah, well, how's that pay going over there at CRST? He was telling a prostitute the driver found out by lifting up the mattress, all bloody. Yeah, always flip your... Here's the thing. You're going to be killing prostitutes? Flip the mattress. Always flip it. It was in his Jeep. I don't think it goes on his deck in his Jeep. But it's still on his record. When he fills out his certificate of violations every year, he's going to have to say, yeah, I had this ticket. Fight it. Call a lawyer at least. Call a lawyer. And or he can call the local FMCSA field office. But he should certainly call a lawyer and just see what they can do. Can they get it down to 14 over? That's what he wants. We'll still be on tomorrow, shooting for first week in September. You can still get a hold of you on our live stream email. livestream@fleetnavsystems.com. Okay. Every speeding on CDO will affect you even if you're driving in your car. That's true, right? That's true, but I don't think it's going to go on a DAC because I think that's a DOT inspection report that goes on your DAC where they write on their speeding. A speeding ticket, I don't think so, but it's still on his record. Get it down to 14 over and pay the fine. And tell them to stop speeding. It was an energy sector and involved going third world countries. Armed guard escort. Oh, when asked. 12 years of building and maintaining generators. I'm pretty sure I glow when I sleep. Yeah. All right. So that's over, but you're going to have a tough time getting 100 on your first year, but that's pretty good. When you have a CDL, you're totally accountable whether in the truck or your car. That's true enough. They said there's around 20,000 eggs in each tote. That's a one big omelet. Okay. Where's Joey Chestnut to eat that thing? In college, my nickname was Serial Killer. Yeah, me too, right? Because of Tony. As a CDL driver, I say fight every ticket. I always think you should fight them mostly. I mean, if it's like the Cashes King Trucking who had a ticket, it was so close on money and wasn't worth it. But this, 15 or more over, that's got to go to a lawyer. At least see what somebody can do to get it to 14 over. Teaming is the worst in Missouri. They put the rumble strip right on the white line. Yeah, well, that's when I think you're going to die too. Oh, he fell asleep. I'm about to die. I have 2 seconds before I die. Did you get a lawyer? You might be able to get reduced to loud muffler. Oh, that'd be great. Couldn't they reduce? Getting a 20 over reduced to loud muffler? I would send that cop a box of donuts after he did that. Oh my gosh. Or that lawyer at least. Reduced to loud muffler. As a CDL driver, shouldn't be getting tickets. I agree, but in the past, people do stuff. Once it's done, we got to just go forward, right? That's why the windshield's big, rear view mirror small. Don't look in the back. If you were a trainer, what living actor, actress would you pick to train to be a trucker? Oh, that'd be great. Who would I want to be stuck in the truck with and talk to all the time? Brent Spiner. Hate it when people use squeegees on tires. Yeah, they do, though, don't they? Where you got to get those rocks out of there? Big Dave says Jennifer Aniston. Oh, nice. I could be friends with her. Take all moving violations to a lawyer. 99% of tickets given to a lawyer will disappear and not be on your report. I totally agree. A moving violation where you're getting points at all should get to an attorney. But 20 over, we could probably all agree, at least an attorney should be consulted. That is a serious violation. 2 of those, you lose your CDL. Okay, you don't just lose your job. You might get fired from your job, but you're going to lose your CDL in the second one. So some jobs fire you for getting a serious violation. Get a lawyer. He's lucky he didn't get popped doing 125 like he did last month. Are you kidding me? Who's going 125? Wow. He needs to go do this on the track or something. Once you're a driver, you can't be doing that stuff anymore. There's a company that considers your driving record even for non-driving jobs. There are companies. Yes, that's true, right? Oh, totally right. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, they did say actor. I thought about him. I'd take Brent Spiner. I'd talk to Star Trek. I'd be like, we're going to go through every episode of Next Generation, starting with the first episode, and I'm going to play Data, and you play all the other characters. That's what I'd tell him. I got running a red light reduced to a parking ticket, given it was $260. Oh, pay it. Brent Spiner. Yeah, that's who it would be. My lawyer got a rape charge reduced to tailgating. Oh, yikes. Do I work with you from otherwise in the JUTAB community? Brent Spiner. Yeah, I think it would be Brent Spiner, really, because I think it would be great talking to him. I find, Patrick Stewart might be a little too pompous about it, but I think Brent Spiner, because he's the one I would relate to most, certainly. I will say that I have to go make some money for my company, as they say. Don't forget, if you wear it, make it a parrot. I want to thank GP Transco for being here today, and we'll get with you more on the 3-way that we're having this week. That will be a lot of fun. Fleet Nav Systems' last live show coming up tomorrow. Please be on the live show and get to the lightning round. Cash King Trucking has live shows all the time. Bass is probably live right now. Go over there and see him. Hilarious. Jay's live tomorrow at 9 p.m. There we go with that. And I'm doing clicking things, but I have to head out. So who was first there? Oh, right. George Hearn, who I didn't see today, was first the other day. So closely followed by Christina Jones and Michael Muller. And there we go. While Bill was first today, they were first earlier in the week. So I want to thank Christina Jones for being here. Michael Muller. Let's see who was here. Todd McGuire was here. Oh, Cassius King Trucking. Wow, Bill. Thank you. Imperial MIC. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Tony 5000 was here today. Big Dave. What's going on? Thank you for coming in. Charles Contreras. Hello there. Thank you for being here. Mark Fu. I love that, right? Kind of like Shatner Fu. I like it. Kirk Fu, we call it. Huns Elite. Thanks for coming in. And see, Alexandra. Thank you for being here today. Keeping your load cool. Cool runnings, as they say. Who says that? Who's they? I don't know who they is. YB Nick, hello. Thank you for being here. S. Isaacs was here today. Paul Harris was here. George Wilson. Let's see. Steel Horse, thank you for being here today. It's good to see you. And let's see where. Oh, MG Jackson was here today. Let's see, where am I at here? Smokin' Papa was here today. Let's see. Grafting was here today. Air Gunner Bob, Kyle Maurice, though. So thank you for being here, everybody. I can't do the show without you. I'm live every Monday, and without people coming in, what am I? Nothing. I'm nobody. I'm nobody anyway. So be safe out there. Keep the speeds under 125. I think that would probably be a good plan. Stay under 125, please. Please, right? Be safe and cool today. And the storms and everything. Holy moly. And we'll be back next Monday for another live show. And I hope to see everybody there, all right? So thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one.